Hey everybody, welcome to the world of Everlast. We are joined by all of our players right in the middle of a dungeon. But before we begin, I just want to welcome everybody for being here. This is session 7 of the Adventures of Eclaas Eeas, our group of adventurers making their way through the Aishan archipelago, trying to figure out what's going on in this really sketchy keep. So let's go ahead, before anything, introduce our players. Let's go ahead and begin with Zill.
Hello everybody, I'm Max. I play Zill, the guy who can take a hit, yell at a room, and get them all to pay attention to him, which was really fun last session. Still with an unnamed mouse and a beautiful axe. Also, get to hang with Eclaas Eeas today, so we're in the same room. It's fun. Woo!
Awesome. All right, Cole.
I play Eclaas Eeas, the Silverwood. My name is Cole in real life, and yeah, I'm the party's resident healer, making sure nobody dies, and making sure, especially Zill, doesn't overexert himself. So.
He's not doing too bad right now.
Next, we have Yuki.
Hello, everyone, and as you all know me, I am Dane, or Forged, as some of you know me by, and I play the sword dancer bard named Yuki Mistletoe. And yeah, she is currently flying, not doing too hot right now as far as HP and stamina and stuff goes, but you know, we'll see where it takes us.
Awesome. And we have Belbin next.
Yes, hi guys, I'm Connor. I play Belbin. He's the resident grump of the group, and he's an attacker, so he does a lot of DPS, but he's also hurting pretty bad right now too. So.
All right, and finally we have Thordane, who is the group's ranger. He is a hunter and he is a special attacker. He actually last session pulled out an oldie but a goodie weapon, a heroic weapon by the name of the Gladys Sunchinti. And so, yeah, his job is to fire from ranged, but that doesn't work so well in melee combat. But also keeping things alive. Jonathan, who plays him, is not joining us for the foreseeable few months. And so because of that, we will be just including him on the adventure. Role-playing will be done by me, and all of the rolling and everything is going to be done by Dane. So
pretty much. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Before going into the recap of what happened after last session, let's quickly go ahead on to some housekeeping things. So, Everlast is a game. It's a tabletop RPG that is currently in the stages of being finished and hopefully produced and brought out to you, to the public. Fantasy Forge Studios, run by Dane, has basically taken up the mantle of publishing this work, and it is going to be released hopefully sometime in the next couple of years. With that being said, everything that you hear on the podcast, such as the podcast, on the YouTube video, Twitch stream, so images, video, audio, including the music that you hear at the beginning, the battle music, basically the story, gameplay, mechanics, all the intellectual property involved belongs to Kyle LaFont, myself, and Fantasy Forge Studios. This is protected under copyright law. Because of that. That being said, if you do want to use this for your own homebrew stuff, if you feel inspired after watching this to start your own Everlast campaign, which is the general rules that you've heard about and that kind of stuff, even if it's just story setting and that kind of stuff, feel free to use it as long as you're not using it and claiming it that it's your own and attempting to sell the product. So anything else to add? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and jump into the recap.
We really need to make a video or something about that.
That's true.
Make it a little easier on you.
That's true.
I'll get on that. I promise.
We have a nice overlay, so if my jumble speech is kind of a problem for you, you just read it. It's fine. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into where we left off. Oh boy. So we are on session 7 now, and going on from session 6. The group is in quite a peculiar situation being here in this dungeon with a bunch of dead bodies. But before getting into that, Eclaas Eeas is a group of adventurers that have made their way to the Aishan Archipelago, specifically the main island, Aishan Island, for vacation. They were recruited in order to be part of the town wash of Takai Town, especially during the vacation travel season of Takai Town for the celebration of Solstice Festival. They spent some time interviewing people, seeing what's going on. They realized that there was these people called the Deadeyes, people that just kind of walk around mindlessly. Kind of hard to tell the difference between them and just normal vacationers, but they seem to be causing problems around, and worse yet, people have been gone missing in Takai Town that have... And so the group has been in charge of interviewing people. Once the celebration of Solstice Fireworks Festival began, they chased a bandit by the name of Duluth into the forest after he stole something from one of the old women. They chased him deep into the jungle, and they eventually stumbled upon his bandit camp, to which they quickly dispatched of a bunch of bandits, leaving 3 alive. By the name, I have names here. Man, there's just lots of names, and in general, in my real life, I'm not really good with names, so it's good that I wrote them down. So you have Salik, you have Matic, and you have Crowvolt. They were 3 of the bandits that served under Duluth, and while Zil and Thordane kept them tight up at the bandit camp, Belbin, Yuki, and Luxalia went to go hunt down Duluth, to which they found that he was captured by a jungle troll, and they found him in a sack in the larder of the troll's den. They eventually ended up rescuing him and somehow convincing the group to be able to help them overtake an evil person that they are hired to serve by the name of the Sorcerer, specifically Amios, or Amos, as Zil knows him by. This sorcerer, so their plan was, with the help of these 4 bandits, to sneak into this jungle keep, to which they did successfully through the front gates. They were shown around, but the ultimate goal is to be able to sneak Duluth in from a cave from the underground. However, there is a sealed entrance that he cannot sneak into the keep with until the group of Eclaas Eeas finds that. And with him are one of the statues. Apparently, these statues are thought to be keys to be able to open the way to the sorcerer of Lulathi himself. And so the group, they were toured around until eventually they made their way into an encounter with a woman by the name of Sinzirak. She is the direct apostle of, or apprentice per se, of the sorcerer. And her job was to initiate the group of Eclaas Eeas disguised as bandits into the protection of this keep. However, that did not sit well with Luxalia, and immediately combat ensued. In an entire chapel room filled with 2 bandits, but numerous amounts of cultists. The group of Eclaas Eeas, fighting back to back, shoulder to shoulder, were able to fend off the rest of them, and even being able to capture some cultists and bandits that were trying to escape to alert the rest of the keep. That being said, they did end up finishing them off, to which Yuki picked up the statue that was guarded by Sinzirak, and they have officially 2 statues and 2 more to go. But this is where the group is left off, in this room with blood trails in the hallway and a bunch of dead cultists and a couple dead bandits in this chapel room. So I'll leave it to the party to decide what they want to do.
I walk over to Luxalia, or Yuki walks over to Luxalia and hands over to the statues, like, well, I hope that went exactly as you planned. Here, you can hold on to this. This is yours for now.
Thanks. You know, it was less of a plan and more of just doing what is right. So,
hey, we survived, so it is a-okay, Luxalia. Give her a nice pat on the back. Yes, he does.
Speaking of which, I'm going to have everybody make piety skill checks for me. Luxalia, you make this with hope. These are fate checks.
Remind me what hope does?
Hope is a advantage.
It's a reroll.
D&D advantage. Reroll, take the higher value.
Oh, cool.
Hope,
piety, you
or
said?
piety.
Piety. Speaking of which, everybody, before you give me your results, For those who don't know, we have a Patreon, and for those who subscribe at the $5 and $10 level, you can intercede on behalf of Fate and grant one of our players on a single roll hope. This is a really good thing. It helped earlier last month to be able to help Yuki get a really awesome set of armor. So thanks for Tanum, who is one of our Patreon supporters, for being able to do that. It's not always going to work in the favor, but it provides a really good opportunity for them to be able to succeed. So if there are any points for our players that maybe they roll something before revealing the value, FYI, that maybe you want to plead to our general public for some additional inspiration, for additional hope, do so. And maybe anybody who is part of our Patreon will be able to help in that regard. So, yes, so with hope. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to have Zil. What is your result?
10.
10. All right. Luxalia.
20.
Oh my god.
Yuki.
A 10.
10. And
yeah.
Belden.
I rolled a 10 as well.
And
Thordain
Thordain.
rolled a 9.
Okay. Everybody doesn't gain any points of misery. However, Luxalia, you subtract 1 point of misery.
Wow.
Sweet.
So look at it. We just rolled a bunch.
So for
of
those who
10s.
don't
Even
know,
Luxalia doubled us.
the misery system is a sense of the way that characters are aligned throughout the Adventures of Everlast. The more that you make good decisions, the more that you pass certain checks. There's these things called Fates check. You remove points of misery, to which you eventually can jump into the virtuous category. However, if you gain a certain amount of points of misery, you can fall into the vice category, which gives you really bad stuff. So you don't want to do that. So essentially, you're held in check for the things that you do in this game. Everlast is not a game designed for murder hoboism. So it is a game with actual morals, and obviously in this situation, Luxalia being able to stand up for something that is right basically allowed this to be initiated with hope, and they were able to fend it off and survive it. So with that being the case, the Fates roll was made. So little explanation behind that. Yes.
How do we get from just nothing to virtue?
So basically, when you hit 0 points of in your basically you have your misery points that are equal to your faith modifier or faith score, and then when you hit 0, you go into the 16 points or whatever your maximum points are of misery in virtue. Does that make sense? And then your alignment becomes virtuous.
So are you virtuous, Luxalia?
I think that just happened.
I think I was at 0 points of misery, so.
Yep, you are now considered virtuous.
I think she's
Nice.
golden. Look at her.
First virtue.
Yuki
So
points
virtuous.
at her.
This is something actually that all of you have generally kind of noticed. After this combat, everyone seems to be relatively weary. However, Luxalia, after this combat encounter, seems to be stirred with an additional vigor. They're like as if a weight has been further lifted off of her shoulders, and there is a general sense of holiness that is generally around her. She's kind of inspiring to be around a little bit. So,
Yeah.
What does virtue do?
so essentially, what virtue
makes you
does
awesome.
is it helps with a number of things, primarily when it comes to basically fear checks. So if you become frightened, the main thing that it does is it allows you to be able to roll. So if you're frightened, what ends up happening is if you try to challenge a creature that you are frightened by, essentially you have to make a courage check for that, with depending on like what it is that you're coming up across. If you fail it, your movement phase just ends. You don't get to initiate combat, you don't get to do anything, and you don't get to continue to move any longer. However, if you pass it, then you can initiate it as normal. However, if you do fall into fear, what ends up happening is every single combat round, at the bottom of the round, you basically roll a resilience check. That's what the RES value is on your guys' stat sheets. Is if you're affected by a status ailment, what it does is it allows you to be able to roll it with that as the modifier, and if you pass whatever the check is, then you're able to remove the status ailment. So if you're frightened, you could do that. Essentially what that allows, on a base level, what it allows Luxalia to do is be able to roll those with hope, which is really good. So if she does happen to get frightened by things, she basically makes that initial check with hope, and then at the bottom of the combat round, she can also make that with hope if she is affected. So the chances of being affected by fear is very minimal. And actually, the more that you go down in like towards like 0 points in virtuous, you can't get double virtuous, but once you get down, like the more additional bonuses. They're slight, but more additional bonuses you get. So currently, Lucalia, that's what you have right now.
So the minute you hit 0 misery,
correct,
and get lose another point.
No. So the minute you hit 0, you go to 16, or not 16, your maximum value of your. So for example, Lucalia, you're probably, if you were already at 0 points, it means you are 1 lower of virtuous. So you're virtuous anyway. So it's probably what stirs you into your initial denying that, because you're like, I'm not going to do this.
I'm virtuous.
I'm virtuous.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. So.
Okay.
Wait, but like, what's my number for that? I guess.
So it's
is
your
it just
faith
a
score.
1?
Faith score.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so as you get
16,
closer
sweet.
to 0 again, or is getting to 0 in your virtue?
Then you just stay at 0, so you can't like increase it by any more. But like that's as virtuous as you could possibly become.
So
Cool.
it's almost a benefit to have a lower faith score once you get to virtue.
Potentially, however, what it does is it gives you a greater opportunity to not hit
Vice.
like vice, essentially.
Yeah.
So you can withstand more points, and especially with the way that the Everlast is supposed to be, faith checks are relatively frequent. So it actually benefits you more to have the higher faith score, so you're not falling into vice.
Well, yeah, but like, okay. Anyway,
here's the thing: the nice thing is the benefits are like really good, anyways. And it's not like, for example, if Lucalia had a 16 in her score in order to do that, like that would be similar. Like the bonuses that she gets would be similar to someone who has 8 in there. Does that make sense? So it doesn't you don't automatically get like the 8 value for that, but it just.
Oh, so it's like a ratio,
correct,
or whatever.
correct.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'll understand this someday.
Don't need to get everybody lost in the weeds. We can continue.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll talk about it on the podcast. How does that sound?
Perfect.
That'll be great. Yuki isn't feeling too good. She's stretching her wings. She's still kind of like hovering above the ground a little bit. She's like, oh, God, I'm not feeling too good. I just dragged in a bunch of bodies. Had to chase some people down. Does anyone have any healing? And then Thordane puts his hand right up into the air. Hey, I got you, Yuki. Come over here. And Thordane's gonna pop open a vial. The one that has 2 charges of
Flask.
an improved flask of the yes, I see that. Has the improved healing potion, and Yuki is gonna kindly take it and heal 40 HP.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yep, they're really good. Again, healing potions are something that are relatively rare, so you got to use them sparingly. However, this is a dungeon, and you are at the very beginning of a dungeon, so it might be.
And then Thordane pipes up, "Oh, there's still a little bit left in here. Does anyone else happen to need any?"
I'll take some.
All right. And give it to Belvin, or Thornton gives it to Belvin.
Looks
He
like
now has an empty flask in his
Probably.
adventurer's pouch.
All right, sounds good.
Unless he wishes, I mean, it is outside of combat to switch that with something from his inventory.
No, he's actually going to switch into his armor if he can. I don't know how long.
Yeah,
that's gonna
everybody
take
should
if
put
he
your
does
armor
that.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put my armor on.
Thornton, how much healing is that? Is that
40 HP, just straight 40.
Oh, it's
flat
just
40.
straight 40.
Yep.
Oh, hi,
Something
Noah.
we'll talk about in the podcast as well, I think. So, yeah, healing potions are different than D&D, obviously. So, it's a max value. It's just a specific value that you get. But they're also a lot rarer than they are in D&D. So,
Cool.
Cool.
Awesome. Yes. So I guess that brings the question: what are you guys going to do at this moment? What are your plans?
There's a dog here.
yeah. Oh, so cute.
I'm gonna put my armor on before we do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna
as-
take some time to do that.
As the party's doing that, I'm actually going to be, like, kind of gathering the bodies, like, moving them into, like, I don't know, like by one of the pews and stuff.
I'll
like
help.
like in the
My
front
armor's
thing.
already on.
Yeah. And I'm gonna start taking clothes off of some of them, and then bury the ones with clothes over the top. So I'm taking all of the cultist robes, basically, and then putting a bunch of guards and stuff on top of them, so the naked bodies are hidden under the pile, if I can. Start doing that, and I start handing robes to people.
So where specifically are you burying? Like pews, but like where are we looking?
Yeah.
So I'm out here on the map.
I'm thinking the top left pew in the corner over there.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So like trying to like shove them like underneath, but if someone just looks into the chapel, they don't just see a bunch of bodies. Hopefully the pews can cover them up a little bit. So kind of trying to keep them out of sight, if that makes sense.
So I'm gonna say at this point, but since everybody's getting their armor on and you guys are like clearing bodies, I'm gonna have both Zil and Yuki make stealth checks for me.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh yeah, can I also like lock the door? Did we already do that?
I don't
You
think
could
there's a
attempt.
lock.
Are we?
Yeah.
Wait, are we still getting
Or at
bodies
least
out
try
of
to, like,
the
bar the door?
out of the hallway?
No, we've already pulled them out. We pulled them out
Okay.
last session. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Also, my armor gives me a -1 to stealth, right?
Your armor's a -2 to stealth.
Oh gosh, I'm rolling stealth at a -1.
So
Guys, minuses in Everlast are rare.
Yup.
This is bad.
Oh no.
uh,
All right, starting off hot with a
But
7.
I rolled well.
7,
12.
Yeah.
12.
Hey, Zill's coming through.
Fortunately, you are behind reinforced wall. You don't actually. It's to the point where like you don't hear anything necessarily from the other side. Luxalia, you've made your way over to the front door here. So Luxalia, you've made your way here. Yuki, you're back here along with Zill along the back. Thordane has made his way up, and he's actually doing what he can to still kind of mend the wounds a little bit of Belbin, and Salik has made his way over. Luxalia, you look at this door, and one of the things that you notice is it is a wooden door, and there is a lock. However, it looks like there's a key that belongs in here, so unless you have a key, you're going to be unable to lock it.
As we're like taking the robes off and stuff, are there any like dangly bits that we can? Not those kind of dangly bits, but like like pockets, you know, that are like.
Okay, so
and
if that's the case, I'm gonna have actually each one of you for each group of cultists make a loot roll, which essentially what that is, it's a straight D16 roll.
Okay.
For everybody.
First one was a 10
Okay.
for me.
5.
3.
5, 3.
Thornton got a 2.
Okay.
Got a 4.
4. So anyone who rolled a 6 and above, which I think is Yuki, you do end up finding a key.
Was I literally the only one who rolled above a 6?
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
The heck's
Straight
wrong
rolls.
with all of you?
It's
Oh
straight
my
rolls,
gosh!
so they're
Yeah.
you
Oh, my
do
lord.
end up finding a key. You don't know if it belongs to that door specifically.
Is
Also-
is this what you're looking for? I toss it to Luxalia. Boom. Toss it
Maybe.
her way.
I'll try it.
Okay.
I take out from my backpack my long axe and just throw it at Luxalia and say, "Use this to bar it."
Ah!
Okay, Gimli.
Do you want the do you want the warhammer instead?
You insert. So you
What's this
insert. You insert the key into the door, and it does click locked.
Wow.
We should still bar it anyway. There might be more keys.
I don't think barring ourselves in this room is gonna.
Well, I
Might
mean,
buy us
is
a little
there
bit of
different
time,
exit?
but yeah.
As you
just
look
this one
around,
exit?
right off the bat, you don't see any other doors. There seems to be
Alright.
one door in and out. There's no windows or anything. It's just solid stone walls all around you.
But
so as-
There's-
Fire hazard.
There's still blood streaks all in the hall, right?
correct.
Do we want to try to clean that, or like,
Oh,
we
right.
gotta pee?
I forgot.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
Luxalia,
yeah,
let
yeah.
him out. Let him out.
Okay,
let him out.
okay. Get out there. But wait, should you put on this robe thing in disguise?
Yeah, I
first?
toss it over to him.
Okay, yeah. I'll,
Slash it up a little bit in your own fashion.
that's what I was gonna say. I'll rip off the arms of it and go on out. Throw it
That's
on.
not helpful, Belvin.
That'll be convincing.
It was a battle. A battle
We just
ensued.
yeah, exactly. We just got out of battle. You can't be pristine right after battle.
Yeah, but you're a Glyven. They're
Not
gonna
against
immediately
Eclaas Eeas.
see.
Well,
Fine, just
so technically with Glyven forearms, They look the same as a normal human. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they're not
Like,
furry. The only
come here a
differences are
second.
tails and ears.
Okay.
Come here a second. We gotta make this convincing. And I just go to start make small cuts on his arm, just so it looks like something actually ripped the sleeve off.
Thordane attempts to look for scurrying mice or whatever on the floor. See if he sees anything.
All right, first things first, though. Before anything, you guys are doing a lot of stuff all at once. Belvin, you're making
not
your
doing
way
much. He's
into the
standing there.
hall. Correct?
Yes. Yeah, and I'll look. Let me peek outside the doors before just walking out there.
All right,
But,
you peek
see if
outside,
anyone's out there.
and the dice will decide whether someone is out there or not. As you peek outside, you look to your left and you look to your right. You do see the blood streaks that are on the ground, but you do not see anyone right away. However, you do hear coming down the hall from your right side. There are voices in the distance, not urgently hurrying towards anything, but just casually speaking, and it sounds like they are slowly beginning to approach. It doesn't seem like they have made their turn up the hallway yet because you cannot see them.
Okay, I will really quickly grab just clothes that were on the ground, maybe my old clothes that I ripped off to put on this.
So the bandit clothing.
Yeah. And I'll go out the hall, into the hall. I'll pee really quick on the blood and start rubbing it.
Oh god!
Like
That's gotta smell
trying to
so
soak it up.
bad.
All right. Yeah, you do that. Actually, so the blood spot that is currently right where you're standing is relatively easy. There is a second blood trail that is all the way up in this direction. So you do that with relative ease without having to roll stealth checks. It's a pretty quiet thing that you can do. There's enough dripping that goes on around this place with it being in the condition that it is that I don't think it draws a lot of attention, but you do that. Are you going to make your way down and do the same here?
Yep.
Okay. You do so. At this point, I'm going to have you make a stealth check for me.
How
I'm
you doing
stealthy.
those?
Can you pee?
Thordane's gonna walk.
This one's more of a stealth approach in this direction.
As this happens, Thordane's gonna walk over and use a skill on Yuki. He's gonna use natural utility and heal her some stamina. That's all.
I think with natural utility, there's an additional effect that's on there.
Yeah, plus wisdom score. It's just it's a support action. Player restores a single ally that they touch. Plus 1d4. May restore a single ally. Wait, what does that mean? Restore a single ally.
Heal.
Oh, okay. So heal and
No, you
with
just
and stamina.
you restore to.
Oh, yeah,
Heal
okay,
stamina,
Yeah.
Okay.
not HP.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Plus wisdom score. All right. Sorry.
I think Thordane also has a mending thing. So this is actually really important for the group to know. Thordane, his healing spell, it's like nature's healing or something. I don't know. But his healing spell, it does only heal 1d4 plus his wisdom score. However, it can be used on unconscious creatures. So he can heal people immediately, bringing them back up. So he works as
I'm not
one of
using
those
that.
types of medics. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not using that. Yeah.
Just FYI,
also,
it's good to read some of the flavor. Yes.
Who even
Okay.
needs me?
question for Thordane. He can speak to animals or something, right?
That's what I was gonna go to. Well, simple
Could
speech.
we use my mouse, whatever its name
so,
is,
so,
chat,
so here's
as a
the
scout?
here's the thing. So he can observe the behavior of the mouse, and he can get basic information, basically. So he can't just have a conversation with a mouse or anything.
What?
Basically, if he sees a mouse running in or something, he can decipher whether the mouse is in a rush running from something, kind of thing. if that
But we
makes sense.
have a mouse that's been my pet for a while.
We do have a mouse.
So
Maybe we could
essentially
tell it
what
to
that does,
go
so
somewhere and
essentially-
come back.
Essentially, what that does is, and that's a trait that he has, correct?
Yeah, that's a
So
trait,
it's a ranger's trait. Essentially, he can talk to them and tell them very brief things, not to the point where he can command them to do things, but he can tell them information and he can receive vague information about things.
Would "there's a person ahead" be vague information?
Potentially.
Can we use my mouse as a scout?
Do it.
All right.
Show us
Thordain's
the
Let's
way.
try.
Thordain
Looks like-
understands what's going
Run,
on.
Go ahead. I
All
just
right.
reach into my armor and pull Mr. Mouse out wherever he was hiding. It's like, he can maybe help.
Thordain's like, oh yeah, I got you.
All right.
Let's see.
With
Hey,
Thordain-
Weaver.
Where's the little mouse? Here's the little mouse.
It was a 15 stealth roll.
Oh, you easily make your way up without
Here's the
any. Actually, at this point, you're just like casually walking, like just like undoing like your robes and like pushing it to the side, but very quietly. And then you begin doing the same thing. And at this point, the robes that you have are getting pretty bloody, and so it's starting to smear a little bit. But you're able to do so to a point where it's relatively blended. And so it kind of blends in with just like the general grime of the floors.
Yeah, okay, cool. So then I'll make my way back to the room.
Before you do so, I have a roll to make.
Let's do that.
Dun, dun,
There are two individuals that come around the corner.
Oh no!
They make their way slowly up, although Belbin has not aroused any suspicion. You have a second or two, a moment or two to determine what you want to do. One
Okay.
thing that you did notice coming in here, and it was very evident, is throughout the halls, not this hall anymore, but throughout the halls that you walked around and investigated, is the halls do have cloaked individuals every now and then. So your behavior is going to determine how they react to you.
Okay, I'll get off the ground from cleaning, stand up, move to the side of the hall, and just like wait for them to pass, like get out of their way.
Okay, so you do so, and let me go ahead and
Was that the right decision? Join us next week on Everlast Adventures.
That was a short session.
I know.
so you have two individuals. They are both bandits. It seems like these are the people who tend to wander the halls, the sentries almost. These bandits don't immediately look familiar to you, Belbin, and they are walking, and as soon as they spot you, I'm going to have you make an influence skill check for me.
Are you good at that?
Okay.
He's got a 6 charisma score.
Oh gosh.
You said influence?
Mhm.
Woo! Good roll though, 17.
Yo, freaking Belbin!
I know.
Let's
go.
So they take one
Feeling
look
good,
at you.
guys.
They take one look at you. They briefly notice that like you looks a little bit different. They look at your arms and they see that they are absolutely rippling. First and foremost, and they look at you and immediately their eyes are down on the ground and they continue on. They are not going to attempt to speak to you, do anything, and they're going to just make their way up, and eventually you see them turn down the hall.
What up, boys? All right, let's go make our way back to the room then.
Okay. You do so with no problem.
And then I'll take the rag and throw my urine and bloody rag at Luke Salia.
I try to dodge it.
Okay. Make a dexterity.
Make a
skill check
roll.
for me.
Okay. Oh gosh.
That's disgusting.
The
I
most
think you have
important roll
misery
here.
too, so not misery, weariness. So that's going to be a roll.
This is the exact.
with struggle.
This is
Okay.
going to be the exact roll that
But I'm virtuous.
looks like he's going to be pleading for
Virtuous people
someone to
can
save
still
her.
be tired.
Fair enough.
Have you ever met a saint? I'm totally kidding.
Just wait. Dexterity? Okay. 10.
10. You somewhat dodge it, although it does nick your shoulder. Fortunately, you're not wearing your normal stuff on top, so you just kind of get
Yeah.
soiled a little bit on your outer cloak.
The heck, Belvin?
It hits the wall and just sticks and slides slowly.
Kept you
You guys
from
are welcome
dying.
for saving your
What's your
butts.
problem?
We just had guards walk by. I'm putting my butt on the line for you guys.
Wow, thanks.
You didn't have to come, sir.
Thordain walks over to Belbin and is like, "Oh, that's a great job. By the way, how's your stamina doing?"
I'll never say no to some.
I need
Alright.
some stamina. I'm tired.
Zil, here, Thordain chucks over a ration that he has. Do you have rations?
What kind of
You can
rations?
ration.
Do I have rations?
I don't know. Look in your bag.
I have 3 bread rations.
Thordan,
Well,
I
then
like
you
your
can eat
new,
one.
deeper voice.
I know, it's pretty good, isn't it?
I also
feel-
have meat.
Meat.
I don't know if it's cooked meat or not, but I have meat.
But yeah, so he's gonna give. Oh, it's a 1d4 plus 3. So go. Do I roll that? Or does Belbin roll
Whoever's
that?
eating it rolls it.
No, it's not bread. I'm using like a actual action on.
Oh, yeah,
on
then you
him.
roll it. Thordan rolls it.
All right. So that's a 2 plus 3. You get 5 stamina back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And for the record, a bread ration, I believe, heals 1d4 stamina.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like a pretty basic, simple.
So for the adventurers pouch,
Yes.
could I have 3 bread rations.
Mhm.
Would 1 bread ration take up 1 slot?
Correct. Which is
Okay.
why potions and whatnot are very valuable, because you have multiple charges if they're held in
Yeah.
bottles. You can have healing herbs too. I don't know if you guys have those in your inventory, but each
Thordan
healing
does.
herb takes up 1 slot in your adventurer's pouch. So it's a
And that's a health item?
it's a health item, correct?
Okay.
So
Are there
Five
stamina
FYI.
potions?
was that?
Are there stamina potions?
There are not stamina potions, no.
Okay.
It just
But are there,
the
like-
ration- the rations in general.
I
Are there
never
better
checked.
rations that are like charges instead of, or multiple servings?
Technically no, because when you get a rest, you completely heal up anyways. But
Okay,
in
cool,
dungeons,
cool.
you can't do that. So it's just kind of like the rations are pretty much for the dungeons
Got
and
it.
that kind of stuff. Because I mean,
Got it.
so
Thordan didn't take any damage last session, did he?
correct. I believe he did, but then he got healed up by Luxalia. So
Okay. All right.
Something like that.
Sick. Perfect.
How do
as
we
you
feel
guys,
about our
are
little-
doing your thing, Salic is in the corner. He's actually sitting down with like his knees to his chest, and his hands are in his head, like on his head, just like kind of beginning to slowly rock back and forth and hyperventilating. He's talking to himself like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. It's finally happening." You can tell he's just completely overwhelmed with just like what went down. He's young, like you can tell he, other than like what he experienced with you guys previously at the bandit camp, he's not a very courageous guy. He's very young. This is his thing, and what you guys observe from him is like he is just completely overwhelmed by the whole situation.
I just go sit down next to him.
Does
Like-
anyone notice? Is it
So,
apparent?
First,
yeah.
I'm gonna have people make wisdom skill checks for me.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody.
I'm so wise. Actually, I'm average.
5.
My wisdom is average.
Wisdom.
That's
my
not bad, but
freaking
I just rolled
Thordain.
terribly.
Wait,
Dear
survival
Lord.
check?
Nope, just a skill check.
Oh, okay.
Wisdom skill.
Struggle! Or weariness. There you go, struggle. I know.
Wait, do you
Natural
have
one,
do
but
you
a
have it
4.
do you have it too, Zil?
No, I'm just yelling
Oh, okay.
at Luxalia.
Yeah.
You got a
Wait,
4,
I
you got a
thought
4
that was
Belbin.
always for survival
A
check.
Yeah.
5 for Zill, 4 for Belbin.
I don't know.
Wisdom skill
No,
check.
no, it doesn't affect survival checks. It does
9
affect
for
skill.
Yuki.
9 for you.
17 for Thordain.
Oh.
Freaking sick. Yeah. You rolled a 14.
Thordain's just going around helping everybody.
Yeah, he's good. That's
Cool.
what he's there for, right?
Yeah.
Who knew he could be this helpful?
And immediately, so I guess you can roleplay Thordain if you want.
I will. I want to.
The whole time.
Still looks tired.
The whole time that your dude he's doing things, he feels this nagging sensation, almost kind of like this tingling in his fingertips. This whole time he hasn't let go of the glads, and he begins hearing a voice. More. I want more.
And Thordain, just in true Ford Thordain fashion, talks back. Oh, you want more of what? It's been a while since we talked. How are you doing, Gladys?
Nimwits, all of you.
That's rude. I can't hear this.
Luxalia, what did you end up getting for your wisdom check?
14. 14.
14. So both Luxalia and Yuki do note, and wait,
Thordain.
Yuki and Thordain do notice Salic in the corner.
Okay.
Wait, is he dead?
No. He's. I actually.
okay.
I say under my breath to Luxalia, I'm like, oh, you seem to be radiating some pretty cool energy right now. Maybe you should go cheer up the young lad while
Sounds good.
Zill and I help us with, or Zill and I get this done. Zill, come on, let's finish this up quickly. I call
Okay.
Zill over.
Yeah,
So
I'll
you guys
go
make your
over
way
to
back over to the pews. I'm assuming you guys locked the door, but I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't assume.
Luxalia, did you lock it?
When you assume. Yeah, after Belvin got back?
Yeah.
Do we jam it
Okay.
with an axe?
No,
Nah.
we're good.
Okay.
They'll just be like, oh, this door is locked. And then move on, you know?
All right. Luxalia, you make your way over to young Salic. Again, he doesn't even acknowledge your presence as you make your way over.
Is he like sitting on the ground?
He's sitting on the ground, yeah, knees to his chest and like his hands on his head, kind of just like almost like hyperventilating at this point.
All right. I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and say, "You did well, young warrior. Alamnia's blessings upon you."
He looks up like a little bit like perturbed by
26.
that.
Okay.
However, and like you can tell like in his eyes there's like a lot of thought that's going deep inside. That's kind of like piercing through some of his fear. He goes, "Do you deal with this a lot? I mean, this." And he looks out and he sees like it's pretty messed up what's going on.
It is rare that we kill a whole group like that at once, but, you know, when you follow Alamnia, you make enemies, and sometimes you have to defend yourself, and sometimes you're fighting paganistic, creepy people who, you know, are trying to squash your light, but Alamnia's light is more powerful, so sometimes, yeah, his wrath does come out through us in that way. I would rather avoid it, to be honest. If we could have talked it out, that would have been great. But, like, we often don't get that luxury. So, I won't say this is the first time, but, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say often. Like, you know, semi-frequent.
Do I hear this?
Make an influence skill check for me, Luxalia.
Oh, I'm gonna get this
Zill, go ahead and make a focus skill check for me at struggle.
Do
what?
I-
At struggle?
Struggle.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
nat
wait.
0.
Was that changed?
Yeah, Zill, you don't hear it at all. You actually don't hear anything right now, except
I'm
for
just
that.
really into moving bodies.
Yeah.
Hold on. Does the,
Influence is
oh,
under
is
charisma.
that not a thing anymore? The, where I can, like, substitute my faith or something for influence?
I don't remember actually.
I'm not seeing that on here anymore.
I think that might just be survival checks.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's just for survival checks. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think you reworked it, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. All right. That's why I didn't say yeah, just influence skill check.
1.
One.
Because I have a -2, right?
Correct.
Yep.
To the roll.
Okay. Yeah.
So is it a nat 1?
No, it was a 3 -2.
So a nat 1.
So yeah, I guess.
A critical failure. You were like to him, it was just a lot of words. He noticed that like you were talking, but you can tell like he's still like deep in thought from like the initial things that you were saying, and immediately he kind of like snaps out of it and he like gets back up and he like brushes himself off and he takes a look at you and says, "So, are you like magical or something? I noticed that you were healing and curing wounds from people on the battlefield. I've never experienced anything like that in my entire lifetime."
It ain't magic. It's mana. Uh,
Did we just
He looks a little
teleport
confused.
into a mana ad?
he looks confused at you. Isn't it the same?
they want you to think that, but it's not. Magic is usually used for bad things, but Alamia gives us mana to do good things. Kind of depends, I guess, on like your intent. Anyway, yeah, I can like heal people with mana.
Oh.
If that's what you're asking.
So what about people who are dead? And he points over to his two bandit friends.
Someday, but I'm not there yet. Takes a lot of mana. and a lot
Technically
of
speaking,
time.
you don't know. You shouldn't know.
I've heard
what's on the
tales.
docket.
There once was a shrine maiden who was able to do it, and there's great legend of her, but you know, that's like for like the people who are basically saints. So I'm getting there. So maybe someday, but all in Alamnia's time, I guess. Maybe. But maybe not.
He kind of like nods. At this point, it's just like it seems like you're just like talking a lot to just try to get him to like stop thinking. Like in his mind, that's what it seems like. And he just like nods. And as like kind of you're in mid sentence, he just continues to walk over to the bodies. He makes his way over to Yuki.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how is it, Salik? Are you doing okay, buddy? And I pat him on the head in a motherly way.
He immediately like shirks. He's seen what you've done with those hands of yours, as far as the amount of bodies that you have taken. He's very jumpy. He looks back actually to Luxalia, and he gives like a small like kind of like nod in regards to her question.
Is there anything you need, buddy? Like, since he walked over to me.
He looks at the bodies, and he actually, with him, he starts beginning to gather some of the clothes and whatnot, and he covers the heads of the faces of the two bandits that are in the pile. Fortunately, because you guys didn't take their clothes, they're still clothed.
That's good.
As bandits, you didn't take the bandit clothes, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
They're still completely clothed, but he covers their heads with like a couple robes.
I'm gonna head over and understanding the situation better, I am going to just say a quick like prayer for the recently deceased, and do like a small funeral-esque ceremony. Not anything long, but just something to like show respect.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a somewhat proper passing.
Make a piety skill check for me.
All right, I'm better at those.
And Yuki sees the perturbed look on Salik's face, and she's like, "So Salik, where'd you
15.
say you're from?"
Oh wait, no, wait, 17.
I'm originally from... It's a small island up the inland strait of Everlast. It's called Fulden Rock. I was born there. I was raised there. It was a... They say it's a man-made island. It doesn't really exist, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. A lot of handy people. Artisans, crafters of all kinds. I wasn't born with those gifts. My parents were merchants, and...
Blacksmith?
No, not in the traditional sense, you'd say. Lots of iron crafters, but not a lot of steel-forged weapons. But my parents and I, we decided to sell some of our goods. They made silks, they made fabrics, that kind of stuff. And we made our way over, and we were actually one day attacked out at sea. We were part of a vessel, a group of merchants, and we were attacked by a group of pirates, and He bows his head and like he begins to like close his eyes. My parents didn't make it. I was 8 years old at the time. I was brought under a captain by the name of Jackman. He was a cruel man. However, he gave me a job to do, to clean up, to swab the decks, to join his crew. I spent 6 years under his tutelage before I was marooned here on the island without any kind of explanation. Ever since then, I had been spending my time at Takai Town, a couple years, petty thievery, whatnot. Caught a few times, thrown away in prison a couple of times. But eventually I came upon Duluth. And he introduced me to the group. These two here came after I actually arrived. Yes, I know that they're older than I am, but like me, I don't think they really knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yuki, in a somber but yet very understanding way, kind of lowers her head and speaks up. I know the feeling of losing those that are close to you. Actually, one of my dear friends, who actually started me on this adventure, I also lost him, unfortunately, and the pain never goes away. But little by little, all we can do is do our best. And as Luxalia was saying before, not sure how much it actually penetrated into your head, but in Alumnius time. But I did learn something from my friend on the road, and Yuki takes out her harp, and very quietly, not loud, so like no one in the halls can hear, just like in the general vicinity people can hear, probably everyone in the room can hear, and she starts picking a little piece that she learned from her mentor, from Folden Rock, from where he came from, just a little ditty, trying to like calm his soul, which will also be a lyrical ballad. So everyone make a charisma saving throw.
Nope. Charisma skill check. Or charisma?
Oh, it's not. Or
Charisma
survival check.
Survival check.
Survival check. Sorry, not saving throw. Survival check.
Oh, that just got a dice thrown off the table.
Oh, I don't know that.
Non-natural 16.
All right, nice.
10.
Nice. Oh, I got to roll for Thornton. Not that it matters for him.
I gotta go rescue a dice.
11?
All right. So everyone except for Thornton. Also Salic rolls 1.
Because weirdness doesn't affect this roll, right?
No.
Okay.
Got a 5.
Okay. So, no, everyone but Salic gets how much HP back? 5 plus 5 for each value you rolled over 7. So that's how much HP you get back.
So I rolled 10.
I like
so
that.
15. Math is hard.
15 plus 5. So 20.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's just a base 5.
Yeah, it's 5 plus 5 for each value you rolled over 7. So
Great.
Oh.
Is Zill still oblivious to what's going on here? Did he
Oh
hear
no,
any
you're
of-
you're pretty well aware of everything that's going on at this point. I mean, it's
I
literally
just-
happening right in front of you. So
I just go to him in full awkward armored fashion and just hug him.
oof, you're gonna have to make a charm skill check for me there. Looks like your initial
gosh.
piety check. What was the value of that back then?
I have to remember. 17.
15, 17?
17.
Yeah, you begin praying, and one thing just seems to, as you begin, like, you're just doing your thing, but something doesn't feel right here. Your prayers are definitely being heard. At least you have a general sense of that. However, one thing that you do notice is there is something that seems adamantly trying to work against what you're doing.
Hey, Zill.
Do I still have the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You have your Peter tingle going on.
Also, I rolled a 14 charm.
Okay, yeah, he accepts it.
What's on this altar thing? Sorry.
I'm sorry, buddy.
We
I
took
lost
it.
my parents.
That's the
there.
idol.
The thing we need to unlock the thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you did take the statue, and currently you're in possession of that right now, Luxalia. There is nothing else on the altar currently.
Cool. Two things. One, is this idol thing? It's like a key, right? Like we need.
From what you've been told, yeah.
Yes,
Alright.
It looks like Duluth's.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
We should probably
it looks
let him in.
identical to Duluth's.
Okay.
The difference is, well, I guess there isn't really a difference as far as what you can tell. You had a quick look at Duluth's.
Yeah. I'll throw that in the glue bag and cover it up because I don't like idols. And then
Is it an idol or just?
Although it is
statue?
interesting, Luxalia. So this actually does look like something of holy origin. However, the stake, the pillar that comes out the bottom, does have void speech written on it. So it is a desecrated,
What does it say?
holy object. Zill, you are really struggling to figure that out, with the exception of pretty much like this side down, essentially.
It says this side down.
Stupid
Do I
boy.
know why I know void speech, or does it just like
No,
suddenly?
it just
make sense to me?
like for whatever reason, like it just is making sense to you, and you have
Probably
no
the
idea. You've never
Jabberwock. The
seen this
Jabberwock's
before.
fire.
I don't know
Jabberwock's
why,
fire.
but I'm pretty sure it says this side down.
Zill, you're scaring me. Redeem yourself by destroying that altar.
I can. Can I tell it?
Quietly. Lucas,
Quietly destroy this
Yuki.
altar.
Do I have any sort of?
Luxalia, make a wisdom skill check for me. Belvin, what are you doing at this point?
I think I'm going to just stand by the door in case we hear like someone trying to open it or something like that. I'll just be there at the ready to I don't know, grab him by the throat or something like that.
Okay.
Thordain just cleans the blood off the floor in Belbin fashion as well. He saw Belbin's example and is just whipping it out, you know, just doing what he did. He saw that worked really, really well, so that's what Thordain's doing.
Peeing against the wall over here.
Yeah.
Great.
Belbin, I'm gonna have you make a focus skill check for me.
Alrighty.
You're kind of like listening with your ear to the wall, and you're slightly peeking out the keyhole.
15.
15. As all of this has been going on, you have seen a couple people make their way through. Bandits and actually robed figures alike. None of them seem thus far to have paid much attention to what is going on behind the door. If anything, people seem to be relatively avoiding this space as of now.
Okay. And I'll relay that to the team and say, hey guys, if you're going to break that altar, one, make it quick, but also be quiet. We got people, like continuous people passing, making rounds.
Luxalia, with that 5 on your wisdom skill check, with that 4 on your wisdom skill check, you are not paying much attention to anything except for the altar itself. Zill, are you going to go attempt to break this altar?
I am,
Okay.
and I give it like a little knock. How hard is it?
You give it a knock. It is probably about like a 4-foot high altar, so decently tall, and this thing is made of solid marble.
Sick.
Ain't gonna be quiet. That's all I'm
Kyle,
saying.
what time is it in the day? Do we know?
You have no idea. Actually, you're at the point where you have lost sense of all time. This place is like completely like impending. I mean, there's torches, but other than that, impending like darkness.
Okay.
You have no idea.
Take out my miner's pickaxe.
Okay.
Oh.
And just, are we clear? Look
Nope.
at Belbin.
Can I
Bad
look through the
idea.
door and see if
You take a look
This is
through the
worst
door,
idea.
and make a focus skill check for me.
Oof, much worse. 8.
8. Okay. As far as you know, it is clear.
Yeah, but make it quick before the noon sacrifices start coming in.
Just take a swing with the.
Make a physical skill check with me, and take away 3 charges from your pickaxe.
How many charges does it have?
I think it has 5.
12.
12. Yeah, you make your way down, and you hit right in the center of the altar where, like, the typical, like, books of prayer are supposed to be. And your pickaxe, just this end, just blunts. However, as that happens, a small crack forms vertically across the surface of the altar.
Hey, Thordain, stand up. Just in case anyone comes in here.
Thordain, he zips up and pulls his pants up, and he makes his way over to the other side of the store. Make a stealth check for me, Zil.
Oh, gosh.
So bad. That's what I'm saying. It's a bad idea.
5!
No.
Yeah, there is a thunderous bring as like sparks are flying. It's just like you swing this thing freaking hard.
I tackle Zill. What are you doing, you idiot? And I tackle him to the ground.
We need to get rid of this thing.
No, we don't.
It's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
It's bad. Bad
I
stuff.
don't like it.
Look, Solly, we've had enough of your piousness for now. We're just trying to survive now.
I'm with her on this one. This room is freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out.
I see
look
that you're
outside?
glowing, and that's great and all, but you know what? We can do it after we kill the sorcerer. How does that sound? We can just lay waste to this fortress. How does that sound? We don't need to do it right now.
As that happens, Belvin, you actually begin to hear a set of footsteps coming towards the door.
Guys, I hear someone's coming. Someone's coming.
Wow. I throw the maiden's clothes at Looks like you put this on. You're playing a part now. You're an actor. Let's do it.
I'm gonna bless it,
Okay.
and then I'll put it on.
For what it's worth.
Basically,
so
a small exorcism, right?
Yeah, you take Zinzirak's clothes, and they are pretty big on you. She's not much taller than you, but they're very very cascading.
Okay.
And your robes. So again, it's the relatively red robes with like hints of black embroidery. This thing does fit you. There are a couple gashes in it from what look like axe wax, but the nice thing is it's because there's so many robes atop of robes, you're able to kind of cover it up. It does have a hood. Do you wish to draw the hood?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. You draw
So
the
you should
hood
stand
to
behind
cover
the
your ears,
altar.
and immediately there is a knocking on the door, and it's in a strange rhythm. It goes.
I will take the battle axe out. Do we have the battle axe in the door or no?
The long axe is by the
No.
door.
Okay, so
Don't
yeah,
do it,
we'll
Belvin.
leave it out. I'll unlock the door and open it up and peek my head out and say, "Hello."
As you peek your head out, you see what looks to be a individual who has their hood completely up. It seems to be one of the cultists.
Okay. Did you hear the church bells?
You're a new one here.
Yes.
Honestly, there hasn't been any church bells here, but I do appreciate the humor. Is Sinzirak okay?
Yes. Do you want to come in and check on her? We're about to start a sacrifice.
I'm gonna turn my back toward the door.
I'm gonna
Facing the
have
altar.
you
I'm
make
just
an
gonna-
influence skill check for me, Belvin.
Oh, Belvin's
I'm
so
gonna
bad at
duck
that, though.
underneath the altar.
Influence skill check.
So I'm just crouching behind the altar.
lose Belbin? Are you frozen? Oh, we lost him.
He
Well,
died.
Yuki walks over because Yuki sees that this isn't a situation that Belbin's super comfortable with. And Yuki, what she does is she's just like...
Now that no. This is going to be reliant on this roll. I'm not going to give you time to be able to attempt to fix this. So I am rolling this check for Belbin.
All right.
Do we know his influence?
Influence.
Mod?
What is his modifier to that?
Belbin's?
I have that.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Who is
sorry.
his backup?
Okay.
I guess I could pull it up too.
I don't have his
no, I
stats,
couldn't.
though, is the thing.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't either.
He got a total of 8.
Nice.
He kind of the guy kind of looks at Belbin for a second. He narrows his gaze. He lifts up his
Hood.
Yes, a little bit, to reveal actually someone with a mask over their eyes. The bottom of their face is completely open. Now tell me, is Sinzirak okay? I haven't met you before.
Nah, she dead.
Yuki,
I don't say
you
that.
have a split-second opportunity to be able to do something here.
I yell over to like in Belbin's direction, you know, and I do like the shh, like a really loud shh. She's about to perform in a gruff kind of voice, like as well as Yuki could do. She's about to perform the ritual.
Sounds pretty manly.
Yeah.
As you do that, the guy, he lowers his hood a little bit and says, "We'll be back after the ritual. It seems that there has been some disturbances around with some of the local gods. I have something to tell her. When you are done, come and get me." And he goes and he...
And where will you be? I call back.
He's talking very specifically to Belbin.
Oh, all right. Never mind that.
Yeah, so he goes around and the Belbin, I'm assuming, closes the door. All right. So
Quick, Sil, finish it off.
I don't know. That was a close call.
It was a very close call.
I don't like it as much as you don't, but we have to come back this way to leave.
How badly cracked is it?
It's like slightly cracked.
Slightly cracked?
It's better than none at all.
Yuki, we could use a donkey kick right now.
It's not like a super deep crack either. It's like a crack on the surface of it, so it doesn't go all the way down to the ground. I mean, that's impressive for a slab of marble. Like, well done, Zil.
I guess.
Yuki walks over to the altar and she just slaps it, and she's like, "Oh, that thing's sturdy. We'll do this later."
Fine, I'll do some sort of rite of exorcism on it. And,
all right. Do your thing, Luxalia.
Although-
Let's get out of here.
Luxalia,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah. What's up?
This place is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten heebie-jeebies like this before.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, that statue made sense. What's going on to me?
While you may be possessed by a demon, I really don't know. But
What's happening?
We can worry about that later, Zil.
I'm scared.
Here's what's happening. Dark demons have been here. Bad sacrifices. This place is very bad. So we should probably just leave, I think, because I hate this place. And I've done all I can. So let's go.
Thordain walks over to the group and he basically says, "Yeah, I mean, I think we should probably go save the guy in the cellar. He's just been chilling there, you know?"
Yeah, that's true. Also, we should open the door for Duluth.
Yeah, we should.
That's exactly who I was
Let's
talking
get
about.
out of this room.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Chlorshax or whatever the
Chlorthax.
dragon dude. Chlorthax or
Oh yeah,
Clorox.
Duluth too. Oh yeah, I forgot the dragon was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we could free him too.
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, okay.
I wrote it down.
His name's
Cool.
Crotax. Krothos.
Krothos.
Krothos!
Right, Korthax is a villain from one of my games.
Right.
I
I didn't steal
um,
that name from Kyle, did
I tell all of them, I'm like, okay, everyone, get your places, get in order. She's gonna process out, and we're gonna follow her like her loyal disciples, and we're just gonna walk unsuspectingly towards where we need to go.
Cool. How
basement.
much does Alamanic sound like
Void speech.
the other bad one?
Void
That
speech.
Zildos. Yeah.
Nothing at all. Actually, one thing that's
Great.
very interesting about Alamnic is it's like very sing-songy. And so kind of think of like Elvish in Lord of the Rings, but like very almost like sing-songy to where like just the sound of it like lifts the spirits. Like here's the thing. Very few people know it. Just in general, like can understand, can know it. However, void speech is something that's very dark and very foreboding, and just the sound of it has like the complete opposite, like a very negative feel to it. So it's very obvious, even if like it still sounds like similar gibberish. Like there's like a feel that comes off of the tongue from it.
Great.
So yeah, you probably don't want to be speaking that.
Fair enough. I'm going to like so Monty Python and the Holy Grail style.
Oh gosh. Where is this going?
Just gonna be just like not so like people can really hear it, but so that they can hear like some sort of prayer, like it's mumbled. They can't tell, but I'm gonna be basically and just praying some verse that I learned at the shrine.
All right. Is everyone going to be complying to whatever's going on here?
I'm in lockstep with Luxalia.
Let's go.
And no one else has to be. I'm just gonna be doing it so that there's some sort of noise, but like nothing.
While this is happening,
If you know Alamnic, you can't tell I'm doing it because it's quiet enough. But like you can tell that I'm doing something, if that makes sense.
Thordain's taking the rear and he's keeping his eyes out, eyes and ears out.
Where's Salic going to be in this formation?
In the smack dab middle.
Guys, can I ask what we're doing?
Yes.
I'm back.
Oh yeah, hey, what's up?
Did it work? Did the guy go away or did he come in?
Yeah, you did great.
So yeah, he went away. Basically said, when the ritual's over, come and get me. But we're leaving now, and we're
Gotcha.
going to go to the basement. So.
Yeah.
Is this a generally good marching order?
Yep. Looking good to me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Love it.
You peek outside the door and you make your way, following in step with Luxalia. You guys slowly make your way out the door. You don't see anybody immediately, except for suddenly down the hall there are a few individuals that come. They take one look at Luxalia, and they actually turn backwards the way that they were going.
Suck it.
As you're doing this, I'm going to have everybody except for Luxalia make stealth skill checks for me.
Oh,
And
no.
Luxalia, I'm going to have you make an influence skill check.
You good at that, Luxalia?
No!
I rolled a nat 16, which equates to, I think, a 20.
Oh, yeah, Thordain rolled high too. He got a nat 13 plus whatever god's name modifiers he has.
Okay.
Yuki rolled a 9.
Okay. Zil, what was yours?
7.
Okay, and Luxalia.
Click clack.
Can I
Let's
use
go.
charm instead?
No.
Alright.
You're
Thordain
not
rolled
being
17.
charming in any way at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. 6.
6. Yeah, you make your way. One of the things that is actually quite interesting as you're walking is everyone seems to be very uniform. So even though, Luxalia, you're seemingly... like, the way that you are walking, you don't have, like, this presence of, like, importance around you, but everybody that's following you is so uniform that, like, people take one look at, like, the group and just assume that, okay, like...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so...
Cool.
Yeah, thank God for Belbin's critical success and
Thordain 17.
Yeah, Thordain 17.
Nice.
Pretty strong. Yeah, you guys continue up the hall to the dungeon gate. I'm gonna have each of you make wisdom skill checks for me.
Nice.
12.
11.
13 for Yuki, and wisdom. 10 for Thordain.
16 for Luxalia.
Okay. Sorry, you're gonna have to repeat all those. I'm really focusing here. Give me a second.
It's fine.
You're good.
Okay. Zill, what'd you get?
11.
11. Okay. Luxalia.
16.
Yuki.
13.
Thordain.
10.
10. And Belden.
12.
12. Every one of you notice as you turn this corner that every single light is out down the back hallway. It's no longer just every sporadic, every once in a while. Every single light down the back hallway is completely extinguished. And as you've made your way out, you're somewhat getting used to the darkness here, but more and more lights have begun to become extinguished here, which is odd considering they're braziers. They're not just torches on the walls. They're like braziers that are lit. Someone has been going through and extinguishing the lights. So it is getting darker. Those of you who, I believe, the way that everyone's characters reworked, I believe nobody has night vision.
I don't think so.
Where would we look?
So currently, I think because of that, everyone has in the darkness, has a base 30 feet of view, which is pretty good. Just generally in darkness, but you will not be able to see further than that down this back hall. You can see general light, some down in this direction, in the south direction, but yeah. So.
Where would we take a look to see if we have dark vision?
It's going to be in traits for your race. So if you have racial traits, I don't believe anybody does.
Yeah.
I think the two race cultures that do are the Earthen Fairies and Musgravite Huroxen. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. I know some reworkings from the originals. So, anyways, you guys make your way to the door. It is open. I'm assuming you guys are going to push down.
Yes.
Yes.
Follow Luxalia. What are you doing?
Take Bikini Bottom
going down.
and push it somewhere else.
Going down.
Going
This
to
dark
bed.
hallway.
If
So scary.
Sorry, everybody who is on. I got like some enormous things blocking the way, so let's do that for now. This guy's coming over. We're setting up the map for you guys.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
And as we're going down the
We
stairs,
can't use that song. It's copyrighted.
check
Oh, I can
out
use that.
the Fantasy Forge Studios merch store. In the merch store, we have all kinds of wonderful goodies pertaining to Everlast. If you want a character hoodie in the Japanese streetwear style, feel free to pick one up. All proceeds go towards supporting the game. If you want a Chibi Zill shirt, you can get one there. If you want a
I don't
nice
think I've even
voluptuous
on
Belbin mouse pad, that is also available. So feel free to check it out.
Wow.
Disclaimer: Chibi Zill shirt does not make you roll better. It probably will make you roll worse. I don't think I've rolled over an 8 all day.
I was talking with a viewer during my normal streaming time this week, and they're so upset that the merch store doesn't have like those mouse pads that have like the curvaceous bumps that like you can rest your wrist on. They wanted a Belbin one with the sweet man pecs. I'm like, I'm so sorry. The merch store doesn't have those. Maybe one of these days. And yeah, she was just like, oh, it's just a preposterous. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's got to be a thing.
I know,
The
right?
man
I
pecs.
tell you, Belbin, you have some fans on the channel. You have a lot of fans.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. Well, we'll see if we can lose them today. Yeah.
Oh gosh. But no, we have some really cool stuff, including, like I said, some streetwear designs. Everything is up to 20% off in the merch store through the end of July. So this is the time to get it if you want to get some. So
So the group makes their way down into the dungeon after that insight. Yeah, this is dark and dank, and Zill is getting very creepy feelings. Not similar to the ones that are up higher. Again, the strange energy that you're feeling. Your Peter tingle is going upwards, but like down here, there's something that just isn't right. You genuinely feel disgusted. To the point where you actually, Zill, begin to feel just sick to your stomach. You notice that as you make your way down there, you're greeted by two bandits who don't say a word. They take one look, and I'm going to have Luxalia go ahead and make an influence skill check for me.
Guys, okay. Wow, nat 16, but I guess -2?
Yep.
So
yeah,
14.
they don't pay any heed nor attention to you, and immediately up the hall, there's 3 cultists that come up. Lady Sorceress, what have you graced us down here with your presence?
I have business to attend to. Off with you. Back. That was my attempt to do her voice.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Was that Cole's attempt or was that Luxalia's attempt?
I remember how Kyle did her, so...
How well does Luxalia remember what she sounds
sounded
like?
what's her bucket? The chick from the cooking show.
I don't know
it
the
doesn't matter.
cooking show.
It's fine. Julia Childs.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. He said, yes, but you never come down here. You told us it was beneath you. Is there something important? Has the sorcerer said something? With your general aura about you, it was convincing enough.
Nice. Yes, I hate being in this filth, but even I must sometimes do the work of the sorcerer.
They stare blankly at you. Okay, what do you need down here?
I have need of the prisoners.
Prisoner?
What? I didn't catch
prison,
that. Speak up, laddie.
The prisoner?
Yes.
All right. And they snap, and immediately the cage opens, and this guy brings out the Draken. He lifts him to his feet, this Draken seems completely sapped of energy. He gets up, not even looking, just looking down at his feet and just lumbering through the cell door. He makes his way over to you guys as he is brought over by this bandit, and these guys kind of fall into line, and he's brought in front of you, not even looking at you in the face, but just head down. He's manacled in the front, and his legs are as well.
Yuki makes her way to the front and grabs him by the shoulder and brings him back into the middle of everyone.
Your time has come.
And as I'm doing this, I'm gonna whisper over to Luxalia. There's one of the totems down here. We need to clear these guards out somehow. And then,
yes.
Yeah.
I must attend to our business here, and I have no use of any of you. Head up and see the guard and be redistributed. You two, I want you on guard duty in front of the sanctuary area chapel place where we do our duties.
Make it influence skill check.
Oh gosh! Stop it! Oh, thank you, Lord. 13.
Oh, that's pretty good. Luxalia rolling hot.
You heard her. Go up, see what they need from us. Yes, of course. You guys clear away, and Oh, I'm not moving the battle map. These guys all clear out up the stairs.
Nice.
Including these guys. And it is currently the group of you down here.
How's Krothos doing? How's he looking?
Oh, he's looking not necessarily beat up, and you can tell he hasn't been here, so he's not starved per se. But he looks like all of the will has been sapped from him. He still like is not even questioning anything that's going on. His head is like hanging.
Just gonna stare him straight in the face and just go, "You in there?"
You will do what you're gonna do with me.
Who are the people who actually encountered him? Was it Belbin and Thordane?
Yeah, I tried to kiss him.
I saw him at the forge, right?
Yeah. I mean, you never really had any interactions with him though. You just recognize that he's one of the guys that was selling stuff there.
Okay.
So Thordane chimes up, and in a kind of a way, he's like, "Hey, you don't have to be so gruff. You're among friends, you know." And
he looks up, and he is actually kind of nearly standing eye level with Thordane. This guy is huge, and he's a lumbering presence. He's still a little bit taller than Thordane, but he looks at him, and he's just like, "I know those eyes."
how could you forget? Of course, we saw you in Tokai Town.
Yeah, it was you and me at the bar. You remember?
He turns
I was
around.
checking out your eyes.
He turns around and... Wait. Don't tell me you've been under her influence. And he points over to Luxalia.
Her? That's not who you think it is. That's just our little friend here. She's a little...
I'm gonna turn around. Oh, Belvin loves me.
Yeah,
Wait,
a lot.
what is going on here?
We're breaking you out of here.
He actually looks around, and he takes a look at Salic, and he goes... And Salic...
He's with us now.
I've seen him. Escort prisoners to and from here, never to return.
He's atoning for his sins. But, right now, that's not important. We're trying to find a secret entrance.
You can throw him into the pit if you want.
The pit of despair.
Pit? What are you talking about?
There's a pit of despair.
Yeah,
That's probably where they were gonna throw you, but, not anymore.
Yuki takes out of her pack an ash, I think it's a staff, polearm, and hands it to him. Are you any good with a weapon?
Not while I'm shackled.
Is there any key? Hey, Belbin, do you still have that key?
yeah, I think I wanted to keister it, but I wasn't here for that, so
Oh.
Wait.
Unkeister
Oh,
it.
yeah, he did have it.
Unkeister. Does it work? It
So-
probably doesn't work.
Oh, the one originally from Duluth.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or which one?
I'll
The
try
one
that.
From upstairs?
Yeah,
Or
no,
the
I mean,
one-
we could try
No,
either one.
The one from Duluth is the one I have. I think Yuki or someone else, or Luxalia maybe, has the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one to lock the door and stuff. And
You use the one from Duluth is much larger than any of these shackles. Like much larger.
Yuki donkey kicks the cuffs.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Make
Wait,
a
let's try the other key first. Can we try the other key first?
You know,
Luxalia?
Zill has an axe.
First and
I have
foremost,
many
a
axes.
donkey kick has ensued.
Oh gosh.
He is technically surrounded,
Yeah.
and so he is.
Solid 6 damage to the
Yeah.
cuffs.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a physical skill check for me.
Also, like a sword? Question mark?
I want a donkey kick it. A physical skill check. That's a 17.
A 17. You shatter them, although you kick into his chest, and you actually hear an audible crack.
Oh.
Yuki. The heck?
These aren't the good old days where you can just donkey kick anything without a.
I'm sorry. I sometimes forget I am
heal
a.
him.
I sometimes forget that I'm a draken. I'm sure you can.
All All right.
concur with that.
Are you expending a charge of mana mending?
No,
to
no,
heal?
no, don't worry,
Yes.
don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it, Luxalia.
No,
And I
it's
actually take
happening.
out of
I did it.
okay.
Okay. How much are you healing him?
Oh yeah, I guess I should do that. Let's see. 13.
13.
And everyone else within 10 feet also heals 13.
He begins to breathe slower. And immediately he brings his hands to his chains beneath, and he begins shaking them a little bit. And he kind of leverages himself up, and he's going to go ahead and make a strength check to try to just like break his feet chains, to which he rolls a 14, and he does.
Wait, he doesn't want me to donkey kick them off for him? What?
Nah, man.
Hey, he still has like manacle shackles around his wrists and his ankles, so he's going to be making stealth checks at with struggle. So he's got chains that are hanging around.
Is he wearing anything? Just commoner clothing and
Commoner's
stuff?
clothing, like basically prison garb. It's like as like soiled and as filthy as like you can possibly have, with still somewhat keeping his dignity.
What is your weapon of choice, sir?
Large smithing hammers.
I turn to Zill.
Pull out my iron warhammer and just hand it to him.
I think that will suit you better.
He grabs it and he like tosses it back and forth between his two hands, and he's just like, "This is
I am
for
gonna want that
enlightenment."
back.
Zil, why don't you keep it until we get to somewhere where he needs it? Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's no longer a prisoner.
Exactly. Good call. Hey, let's find that like door that went to the sewage. Remember that when we took the tour?
There's
I'm
also a
going
door-
to take it back, but instead of putting it on my backpack, I'm going to put it on my back. So it's because that's more easily accessible, right?
I mean, yeah, it's like on your person, so
Just
Yuki
if we
takes-
get into combat.
you can
Yuki-
use a support action to give it to him. Yeah.
Yuki takes some of the
Right.
cloth out of her bag and like rips it in a way that it's like really like small little strips, and like lightly ties the chains where they are together, so it still looks like he's handcuffed and
Okay.
stuff. But like he could like pull out of it really easily if he needed to for like combat or something.
You do so somewhat successfully.
Alright.
It's from basically if people aren't directly staring at it, it's a good enough job.
Just to stop the noise and stuff, and him still looking like a prisoner and all. So
As you guys do that, you notice that there is a foul stench coming from the hallway right in front of Belbin. It is a 5-foot wide hallway, and it is pitch dark as far as you can see down that end, except for the fact that you guys can smell something foul.
Luxalia, do you have any light stuff?
is there
Or
any
is that all-
sconces or anything?
Not down here.
Nice.
No, I used to, but no longer.
Yuki will. I guess there's no one down here, at least that we know of. She'll expend a rhythmic light spell.
I also have a torch.
We don't have anything to light it with. Is the thing though. So she'll do a little rhythmic light spell.
If someone has tinder, a tinder box, you could probably light it with that.
It's fine. I have uses of it, so it's okay. I'll use it.
So immediately you pull out your harp and you begin playing. So one of the caveats about this is it only works as long as you continue playing.
All right. Does it matter how loud I'm playing? Can I just like lightly, the lightest of light pluck?
You
I know it
can-
doesn't help.
You can. I mean, granted, you have like bright lights that are surrounding you. So you're not going to be stealthy at all at this point, but it does light everything up. And
It doesn't
as
matter, I guess,
you-
at this point.
Yeah, as you do so, you can see immediately down this hallway, but there are a bunch of creepy shadows that are also cast. Inside each of these prison cells, it looks like all kinds of things, whether it's retch from people like being dehydrated in there, whether people have soiled themselves, whatever the case. It's messed up. You don't see any traces of blood, however. You see what looks to be like broken wooden plates and stuff that are inside as well. And you do see all the way through. There is the door that is facing. Again, it's like a small manhole inside this stone wall. Which direction would you like to investigate? Would you like to investigate the door, or would you like to go down the hallway, or maybe go back up?
Well, down the hallway, like by the prison cell, is the doorway to the other guy, like the captain of the cell block and stuff. So maybe we'll come to that last. You know?
Wait, which way? By the door?
Yeah, like if we went straight down the cell block, right? And like on the far left-hand side, down there. Yeah, right there.
There is nobody currently there. It is completely empty. All of the guards in this prison area have left.
Well, wasn't there like a door with like the guard of the prison who's like behind it? Like that's where he lives down there, kind of thing?
Down this hallway is supposedly where he is.
Oh.
Down the dark hallway that stinks.
Oh, should we go? Where's the door that is like the metal door?
On the far end, over here.
We don't need to go see the jail cells. I don't.
We need to bring Duluth in. Yeah, we need to bring Duluth in, don't we?
Yeah,
So
but that's not. Those are just jail cells. I thought.
Well, no, there's
a
one door
inside
down
the wall. They're not doors to jail cells. It's just like a manhole inside the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe Duluth.
Let's go to the manhole.
Sure. Let's go check that out.
So you make your way down in that direction.
Also, I'll continue doing my prayer thing to his music or her music. Yuki's.
I try to make it demonic, ominous.
No, just
Yeah, you played in a minor key.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you make your way. There is not enough room for all of you to gather around here, really. But Thordain is going
keeping
to make
an eye
his
out,
way,
yeah.
keeping his eye on the back. I'm gonna have Thordain, before you guys do anything, make a wisdom skill check for me.
That's pretty good.
Where's
11
this?
plus 11 plus 3, 14.
14.
Yeah.
He seems to be pretty alert to what's going on, and no one is coming up the rear thus far. Luke Sully, what'd you say?
Oh, I was just trying to see which medallions were who. That's all.
Okay.
We're good.
All right,
That's
so
all
you've
you do
made,
on a test
you've
the
made your
key.
way to this door. First and foremost, this is not a door that necessarily, per se, has a key to it. In fact, it's one of those that have kind of like a ship's wheel crank on it. But yeah, and again, this seems to be a relatively new addition, but there is still like a decent amount of rust and stuff.
Nice.
Do you want to try?
Yeah.
You want me to donkey
Zil.
kick? Do you want me to
No.
donkey kick it?
We should just try to open. It's
How
gotta
about Zill just tries to open it?
turn.
Yeah.
I will turn the wheel.
I mean, you can help him turn the wheel, but yeah.
I will, with my rhythmic lights.
Okay. Yeah, so Luxal or Yuki is casting light on. Zill, I'm going to have you, as you reach out to grab it, go ahead and make a physical skill check for me.
14.
14. You grab onto it, and immediately you start to feel a tingling in your arms, and then it immediately dissipates as you begin to...
Is it the
Turn.
same kind of tingle, or is it different?
No,
kind?
completely different. Like this feels like as if like the blood in your arms itself was slightly beginning to freeze, but the sensation subsided.
I'll tell you,
That-
tetanus is no fun.
Yeah, that'll get you.
This door makes me feel weird.
You do end up opening it, and it swings inward to a pitch black, what looks to be small room, and immediately in front of you, you start to hear the sound of rushing water.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Anyone feel like going for a swim?
I think you do.
All right, I'm down. I'll leave
I'll light it as
my-
best as I can. I'll take it. I'll step into the doorway and see if the light. helps.
I'll start taking off my cultist clothing. How fast? Like, is it flowing fast? Like, can I tell anything about this?
Somewhat. It sounds like it's running. It's more than just like a trickle, like stream. It seems to be running relatively quick.
I take out the rope that I have and I hand it to Belbin. Do you want to do anything with this, just in case?
Well, how will I be able to swim back up it, or is it going so fast that it's like there's no way I'll be able to?
It is pitch dark in it. Basically, the water is just blackness. You have no idea until you get in it how fast this thing is going. You can tell it's moving, but you have no idea how fast.
Okay, yeah, I'll tie that rope around
I'm holding on to it.
my chest and waist.
Is there enough rope for me to also hold on?
Yeah, I think it's 100 feet.
Plenty.
So.
Nice.
So Belbin, he takes a look, and you step
I'll be happy
down.
I'm start finally bathing.
You step down, and there is a small ledge, actually. However, around your ankles, there is a rush of water. And I'm going to have you make an agility survival check for me.
Okay. I'm rolling so well today.
Sick.
Glad somebody is.
Yeah.
That's a 22.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, you're able to keep your footing really well. It's moving, but it's not like a river moving. So
Is it? How loud is it? Like, can I say like?
It's very loud.
Blue.
It's
Okay.
super loud. And one of the biggest reasons is because what it looks like you're in is a completely circular bronze pipe with the water that goes up halfway through the pipe. It seems to be some kind of, you can't tell whether it's a sewage system or if it's a way to bring in water to the keep, or you have no idea. But this seems like a relatively new addition to this keep, and there is definitely a flow of water that is moving. And it smells a little bit stinky, but it kind of just smells more like stale groundwater to a degree. Like, it doesn't smell like filth. Kind of stinky, but
Okay.
like...
Okay.
But
Yeah,
where I was going with that is it sounds really loud because the water's banging off all the metal pipes. And so even though the water's not moving a lot or like super duper fast, the sound of it is like echoing throughout the entire place.
Okay. I want to try to go upstream first if I can to see where that leads.
Okay. You do so. I'm going to have you make a strength survival check as you make your way upwards.
Strength survival. Non-natural 16.
Natural 16.
Yo,
you do so with relative ease. Actually, at this point, you've realized that there's enough footing that you can kind of walk up it
Okay.
without actually diving into the water, unless you want to dive into the actual water. You
I'm
can kind of
good
walk
where
up
I
the
am.
side. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, keep going up.
And you do, and you actually go for a little bit, and you start to notice what seems to be a echoey stone cavern. However, there's some kind of grate that's dividing this area from the cavernous area.
Okay. How wide is the space between the grades?
So it's like a checkered pattern grate, and there's probably it's like 1 by 1 foot squares ish.
Okay.
So enough for like rushing water to go through, but not enough for anyone to be able to squeeze through.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll turn around and start going the other way. See what I find the other way.
You do that with ease, and actually you start to the current is going downwards. So now you're going with the current. You don't need to make any checks, and you continue to make your way down further and further and further to where you immediately come into contact. Not everyone else is there. Ignore that. with a hook in the and you come to another grate that seems to be completely blocking as well.
Okay, and I can't see anything still.
It is pitch black.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you make a focus skill check for me though.
Oh my gosh, this is a good day, guys. 19.
Yo, freaking Belbin.
You sit there and you listen, and you no longer simply hear just the sound of rushing water, but you hear dripping from the room in front of you. You can see what looks to be a bridge in front of you, but there seems to be something also, the sound of something moving in the water up ahead of you.
Okay. I'll just yank on the rope twice. See if my people know to
How
pull
are
me
you
in or not.
reacting? Oh,
Well,
and
we
by
see
by the
that.
way, this rope, like you have pretty much reached the end of the line.
Yeah, Max.
The end of it.
Yuki freaks out because he had such sure footing and it's being tugged in an unnatural manner, so she starts just pulling it in as fast as she can. Belvin, are you okay?
Make an agility
just
survival check, Belvin.
Agility
And
survival.
go ahead and Yuki make his physical skill check for me.
13.
Is Zil not gonna pull too?
7 plus 6, 13.
No, I'm just here.
Yeah, you do so. Actually, to the point, Belbin, where you like stop and like Yuki. This is like really easy, but it's because Belbin's walking his way.
Oh man, I'm so strong. Oh, hi, Belbin. What did you see? Anything fun?
Yeah, I'll tell him everything I saw. I'll tell him that when I went upstream, there's just a grate that you can't see, but it leads into a big cavernous area. And down there's a bridge with dripping, and what was the other thing that I saw? There was
Moving.
Something
moving in the water. Was it in the water that was moving?
Well, that's
Yeah.
just great. Did you call out to it?
No, I probably should have.
Do you want to go back and try?
Yeah, I'll go back and try.
All right.
Okay. You go back down, again, with relative ease. And you begin, and you find yourself face to face with the grate. Same old, same old. What do you wish to say?
I'll say, Duluth, are you there?
You don't hear anything in return. You just hear a fervent swishing in the water ahead of you. I'm going to have you make a focus skill check for me.
Ugh, that's good. 9.
9. You have no idea what it is. You can't see anything. Your eyes have adjusted being in this darkness. However, you do notice that it's not the sound of like footsteps in the water. It sounds like something sloshing. Like kind of like how like the sound of maybe like a snake would make as it like kind of swims through the water, something like that.
Okay. I'll take a few steps back from the grate just so that anything that comes up wouldn't be able to like pull me up against the grate. But
you don't notice. You wait a few moments and you don't notice anything out of the ordinary, but you still hear the sloshing, and the sloshing has gotten closer, but you haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. And the grate it's the same grate that was above. Still wouldn't be able to squeeze through or anything.
That is correct.
Just water going through. All right. Yeah, I'll just go back. I don't want to get into battle here or anything like that. And I'll just tell him, hey, there's something swishing up there. Maybe something snake-like, but I don't think it's Duluth. And if it's Duluth, he's been turned into a snake. So I don't think it's Duluth.
We've had our trouble with snakes on this island, I agree. And I start walking back the other way.
Okay. So you guys have explored. Do you wish to leave the door open, or do you wish to close it up?
We'll take effort to close it.
No, I mean you just pull it back and then you just seal it back up.
So how you feeling, buddy? How's that tetanus treating you?
Yeah.
The door is closed. Well, the door is attempting to be closed.
Maybe don't like close it all the way, just enough to like keep it closed. But if we need like a quick escape, I don't know if we can escape through here, but or we need to hide.
Oh, like a crack.
I mean,
I see.
Luxala, there's no way out going down there. Unless you want that little snake thing to be coming up. It might be able to come up.
Fair enough. Also, which way did you say when you went downstream it turned?
It
turned
hooked to the right. Your left,
Yeah.
Belbin, but like our right, looking at the screen.
Because I'm just thinking. Because we've seen where the Pit of Despair is, right?
Yeah.
Because what if that's the Pit of Despair?
Oh.
Well, and I fared pretty well.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I
you weren't
see.
in it, but like whatever sloshed could be whatever's in the Pit of Despair.
I see. I've heard
So again,
stories.
just slightly, you haven't seen this room yet, guys. Technically.
Oh.
So you.
Oh, I
have
thought
no
we
idea.
did because we took the tour.
You did not go down this area. You just
Oh.
stayed in this general prison block.
Do you want to
You
go
do
explore?
know. You do. From what you've heard, the Pit of Despair is in this direction.
Oh, okay. Great, then what I say remains.
Yes. but you really have no way of knowing unless you continue to explore.
All right. Well, let's continue to explore.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
Have Thordane make a wisdom skill check for me.
By the way, my rhythmic lights went away, I guess, since I was holding the rope. I'm not playing.
Yes.
Hmm.
It is dark again. Unless you
Sorry,
wish
guys.
to reinitiate.
Nope. I'm not wasting my...
I feel like we should just light your torch.
Yeah?
Anybody?
Does anyone have a torch?
I think
I got a
Thordane might have a tinderbox.
Yeah, I am prepared, guys. No problem.
Maybe.
First try.
Yeah.
First try. Slaps that sucker.
Yeah,
Great.
you have a torch. I believe it has 15 feet of bright light and an additional 10 feet of like dim light.
All right.
So, if you want to place, okay, so the formation was all kind of jacked up, so you guys are kind of like all going back, squishing up this way. Thordane, go ahead and make a wisdom skill check for me.
Alright.
Luxali, I'm assuming you're leading the way still.
Yeah.
14.
14.
Yeah.
He does hear somebody at this point.
Oi! What's all that ruckus over there? Is that prisoner having issues again?
And you hear footsteps clip-clap their way up from this general direction.
Luxalia, do you have anything to say?
Do you want me to say something?
Oh, yeah. There's dudes.
Oh, this is just official court business. Go back to your work.
Make an influence skill check for me.
Oh, God.
Ah,
Stop it. My influence sucks. 3.
3.
Freaking weariness, dude.
Who is that?
And you see, as the torchlight of Zil slowly or dimly lights the hall up ahead, but you can see arriving in the torchlight a balding older man. Not old, probably like somewhere around Belbin's age. But he seems to be like pretty stacked.
Oh, he's ancient.
Yeah. he seems to be pretty stacked, but he has a kind of like a cruel look in his eye. There's a scar that's like down beneath, and he is carrying what looks to be a mace on his hip, and in his hands seems to be some kind of whip, and he seems to be like twirling it around his hand, almost readying it for someone.
Can I look at Salik? Does Salik look like he recognizes this guy?
Yes. Go ahead and make a wisdom skill check for me. Focus skill check.
Focus. Non-natural 16.
Non-natural 16.
Yo, freaking Belbin's sick today.
Dude, today's the day.
Salik, he's been odd. He hasn't been saying a whole lot. His eyes are completely cast down, and you notice that he's actually beginning to kind of like squirm his way towards the back of the group. Thordane is still kind of up, blocking like the stairs up, but he's starting to make his way up as the formation kind of gathers around here. So there's a small gap. Salik is directly in front of him, but Luxali is just around the corner.
Yuki steps up and... Your mistress. Let me handle this. And
Oh,
talks
no.
out to the man. We have come to fetch the prisoner, and we are taking him to the pit.
What's in this direction, then? Usually, they only bring the dead ones down here. This will be interesting to see how a prisoner fends themselves off. Seems like a waste, though.
After you, sir.
I don't necessarily want to hear the incessant screaming. The nice thing about a dead body is it doesn't scream.
Go ahead and make a influence skill check for me. With struggle.
With struggle?
Yeah, because you have
snap.
weariness.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought there was the other one. That's really good. That is a 15.
A 15.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me, mistress.
I'll follow.
All right. How are you rearranging yourselves?
I still am following. I want to be right up front. I want to be
Yeah.
right up front.
Then who?
Then I'll follow.
Okay.
I'm
I guess I'll go in the middle with the torch.
This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Middle with the torch. All right. Salik will kind of be staying back. Are you guys just like leaving Krothos back here or something?
No. He's like in the middle. Like in
He's the
middle
one that
somewhere.
we're supposed to be thrown in the pit,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. But we're not
Yeah.
bringing him to the front though yet.
No.
Just stand
You'll
back
be
there.
behind me.
How does this marching order look?
Yeah, that's looking
That
good.
looks good
That's
to me.
great.
Yeah, that
All
looks
right.
good.
Okay.
Thornade's
Perfect.
making sure Salik doesn't make a run for it.
You guys make your way up through here to where you see actually immediately in front of you is what looks to be some kind of stone workbench. Upon closer investigation, you see all kinds of what look to be tools. These tools have blood all over them. You can tell that they have been used as for some kind of dismemberment. There are bits of flesh there and there hanging about. There are a few pieces of bone, like just that have been like ripped out of people's forearms. It seems like this man is the only one currently down here as you begin to lead the prisoners.
Do I see any
through
like keys or anything dangling off his belt or something?
You do. You see what looks to be a key ring that has 2 keys.
All right. I look and then I look over to some of the stealthier people in the party, just like glancing, like trying to make eye contact. And like, hey, look at that.
Salik audibly begins to start whimpering.
Oh, shut up, young one! I shout towards the back.
Go ahead and make an influence skill check with me. For
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. 14 minus 2 plus 3. So 15.
Yes, ma'am. And his head drops down, but he's like, you can hear him softly crying to himself. This place is gross. Like very, very disgusting. You see that there's a small sleeping cot somewhere around here, but you can tell this guy just spends his time just dismembering bodies, doing all kinds of things. And he leads you directly to what looks to be a well in the ground. And Krothos, being kind of like hugged in the middle of you guys, is being led in this direction. Salik is bringing up the rear along with Thordane. You begin walking, and you can tell that this is where the stench is coming from.
I see anyone going for the key or anything. We're gonna wait till we're closer. Is the guy like making his way to it like itself?
Yeah, he's leading you guys there, completely turned face forward, as if like he is like.
All
doing
right,
his thing and leading you.
I turn to Krothos, and I give him like a little nod and stuff. I'm like, "Are you ready for this?" And then I attempt to rip the keyring from him as Krothos charges him.
All right. So what we're gonna do
Yes.
is first and foremost, the first thing, Yuki, I'm gonna have you make a dexterity skill check. This is going to see if you can reach the key ring before Krothos charges him.
It's a 14 minus 2 plus 2, so 14.
14. You grab it, your hand on it. We're gonna see if the guy notices at all.
Mm-hmm.
He does not. He rolled a natural 1.
Let's go!
It does not notice. You pull the keyring, and immediately Krothos, boom, just like completely body slams the guy, and to the point where like he falls forward and he cracks his head on the far side, and his body slumps down as you hear him whimpering, and suddenly you hear a. As you hear a thud on what sounds to be something squishy down at the bottom. After about a few seconds of falling.
I
thought he said there'd be moaning.
Well, I think he died.
want to go up, lean over, and just
Yeah,
like,
but
kind
you
of
said that
hold
was
my
a-
torch down into the pit.
I ready myself just in case.
Okay, Belbin, what were you saying first?
No, I was just saying I wanted some more screaming out of him since you said
He knocked himself out
throw
on the
live
far
bodies.
wall.
Ah, okay, that's fine.
I give Prokothos a pat on the back. Good job, buddy. How's that feel?
You want to say anything to him?
This one's for my friends.
And I just say in a loud enough voice, just in case he can hear, a prisoner out of check. What are we gonna do with you?
Yeah, so Zill, you lean your torch downwards, and you see a decent amount down there, but you can barely see what looks to be a faint movement from down below, but not a whole lot. It's too deep for the torch to be able, unless you drop the torch down inside.
So I'm gonna say to the party, what are the odds that this actually leads to the entrance that Duluth is waiting at? I feel
Guess
like
you could find out.
yeah, but like I feel like this wouldn't be the place. I don't know. Just seems a little
Well,
too
there's a-
new.
there's
He
a
said it was
door
like an
behind
ancient
us, right?
entrance, wasn't it?
There's a door right back behind us, right? That little gray thing on the map.
This
That's a door. Yeah, it's a door,
this
right?
is not a door. It is a
That's
table.
the altar thing. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the dismemberment
Yuki!
table.
Yuki, can
Yes.
I tie my torch to your rope?
Oh, yes,
You know,
we can
ropes
go.
and torches don't really go together well, I don't think.
How about we tie the rope to your mouse, Zill? Try your theory.
Delvin. Calm down.
You hear a,
You said you wanted him to scout. He's our scout, right?
I looked out at my.
despair.
Hey, Belbin, did you hear what it sounded like when he fell?
Yes.
It was
It
squishy.
wasn't.
Were those similar noises to what you heard on the other end of the grate?
Ooh, I don't know. Could I tell if it was?
You can try to lean in close to hear if you have the same thing, but from your initial standpoint, it was too quick to tell.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Luxalia.
Does anyone want to try to be lowered down?
No. Bad idea.
How,
Luxalia.
what about Salic? He's expendable, right?
No, Salik. I feel bad for him. I actually go over to
Morning!
Salik as this is happening.
Shoot an
I'm
arrow
like,
down there or something.
all right. Well,
Yeah, can we
Yuki,
light- can we
Yuki
light
goes
an
back to
arrow on
Salik.
fire?
Yeah,
And-
as Yuki turns around, Salik has started backing up towards. There's nobody in the back to be able to stop him from doing anything. He seems to be at a breaking point.
I slowly walk over to him. I'm like, Salik, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be so cruel, but as you can see, we made quick
Is
work
there-
nice and easily. And I try to approach him kindly as possible.
Make a charm skill check
Alright, I'm really good at that.
with struggle.
Yeah, that's a nat 16 minus 2 plus 4. 5 plus 5.
You get
Whatever
him.
that is.
You definitely get him to stop, and he begins trembling, and you can tell like he's like just physically drained, emotionally drained, mentally drained, everything that could possibly, spiritually. He looks up at you, and there's like a cold sweat that has broken out on his face, and you can tell that there are like tears welling up in his eyes. He's just like, it's too much.
So
It's too much. I've seen too much. My life has been nothing but pain and death all around me. I thought I've been with people who know what mercy is like.
And he
And
begins
you-
just like panting, like almost like turning as if he is about to book it.
Yuki kneels beside him and grabs his hand gingerly but firmly at the same time to keep him from just bolting. And if he does, she
Rusalia's
has a hold of
gonna
him.
make her way over there too.
And Yuki looks up at him with
I'm gonna
with
have
a
both Yuki and Luxalia roll initiative for me.
oh the heck!
Sweet.
Alright,
Oh,
that's an 11 for Yuki.
Okay.
is this a -2?
No, technically not.
10.
Actually, it is a skill check because it's a dexterity check. Yeah, it's -2.
9.
8.
Okay. Salic, I'm gonna have you and Salic make contested physical skill checks, Yuki.
Thank you. That's funny.
You have a struggle on that.
Yeah. 14.
All right. Yeah, you're able to hold on as he attempts to just go for it. And you like hold his arm as you grabbed his arm. And he's just like, no, 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 let go. Essentially, the initiative was to see who was acting first. He acted first, but you have currently restrained him.
All right. I hold on to him.
You're able to make your way over.
I hold on to him calmly, and what I do is I pull him in to a hug against my chest, just like full on bear hugging him, but like very, very calmingly and stuff. I'm like, shh, it's okay. I know this isn't the life that we want to live. It's nothing that we want to live either, but we have to move on with what we're given. And in our current circumstance, we have to get these statues. We have to get these obelisks in order to do this.
He begins sobbing, not necessarily embracing you back, but he just begins like sobbing as like his whole body goes limp.
All right. Well, I turn to look Sully. I'm like, is there anything you can do about this?
How do you move on from all that I've seen? Let's say we get out of here. Let's say all of this is behind us. Let's say we defeat whoever this sorcerer is. How do I forget the abandonment that I've had? Everything that I've gone through. I've seen so much. I've done too much. How do I go on?
First thing, I'm going to gesture toward Yuki to follow me and just bring him away from the pit, because I think that's making things worse. So we're going to head up kind of by the stairs.
Okay.
And then I'm going to whisper because...
Does anyone else want to follow, or is it just the two of them?
Thordain's shooting an arrow down into the freaking pit of despair.
Okay.
I'll follow them. I'll follow them. I don't think I'm needed over there.
Okay. We'll go here first, and then we'll go to the pit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to say, the mercy of Alamnia is total and complete, and it gives healing for those types of things. I also have done horrendous things, and it was only by Alamnia's grace and healing that I was able to turn my life around and start working for good rather than selfish gain. And that hope is for all Alamnia's people, and that includes you, if you so choose.
And Yuki nods to herself and says, maybe my experience isn't quite maybe like Luxali is. I haven't myself really developed that relationship with Alamnia that I want, but I know that in my darkest times, and I've been through quite a bit, even at the gates of Vex or Doom, like when all seems lost, but the companions that I've made along the way, and I turn to the party, like even like towards Belbin and stuff. This is what keeps me going, and I know just being with the group of people that I care about is what keeps me going. And you just have to have faith.
I understand that, but all the people that are around me can't be as strong as you.
He turns to each of you.
This world, there's so much evil in it. And this Alamnia that you speak of, how do I know that he's just not going to abandon me? Like everyone who's done that. I can't just give my life over to something that I don't know. All of the people that I know are gone. Every one of them. All the people who have cared for me are no longer here, no longer care for me. I feel like a prisoner. I feel like a prisoner with you. I feel like a prisoner in this castle. But there's nowhere for me to go. I keep running. I keep hiding. I keep putting my trust and faith in people. And it always fails because they always go. Death is inescapable. do? What do I do in a situation like this? How am I able to overcome so much darkness and despair? How do I deal with the things that I've done to people? The people who've cared for me? How do I just abandon them? I understand. I understand that for maybe some, Alomnia might be the way. I don't know Alomnia. I don't. And I can't see how someone like him could exist. In a place in a world that is so filled with evil, in a place that is so filled with darkness.
Well, you mentioned before that you were a sailor and you came from a place, Folden Rock, where you were surrounded by water, and it seems you do have a genuine interest for it. I know it was brought up before, but we do have a friend, Gunter, who is a wonderful and noble man, and I know he's always looking for those who are lost and wanting to find redemption. And he's the kind of person who will never ever abandon anyone. And I promise, if that's something that you want and that's something you want to try, I will get you out of here alive, even if it's at the cost of my own life. And I will give you the life that you deserve. And I too, I don't necessarily have that relationship with Alumni either, but it's a process. You're not gonna get close to him just right away. You got to keep working at it little by little, and maybe one day you will. And hopefully we can get you surrounded by good people. And I know Gunter might be a great first person to really do that. But I'll give my life to try to get you there. And then I hug him, embrace him, even like in a motherly embrace.
He's quiet, but you definitely hear like very wet, like sucking up of tears and like
Delicious.
Yeah, it just. Belbin looks all right. What are you doing?
Belbin is going to, while they're talking, just make his way towards that staircase just to see if anyone's coming down or see if I can hear anything.
Okay.
And when I
Just
pass
make your way.
Salek, I'll just say, "Buck up, Buttercup."
You make
That's all.
a focus skill check for me. Belbin.
Okay. 19. Oof.
19. You don't hear anything immediately up the stairwell. However, you do know that Salik was making a decent amount of noise. So you keep an ear out, but as of now, you don't hear anything, and chances are, from what you can tell, nobody heard.
Okay. Hey guys, can we move this pity party over, like, away from the door a little bit? Maybe like where we were before, near the cells.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Luxalia?
Mm-hmm.
I'll follow you.
All right. As you guys make your way down this way, we'll go back over to the pit. So Thordain, he goes ahead and he knocks an arrow. Yeah, he's not necessarily firing at anything, just down.
No, yeah, he's
just
just
downwards.
like,
And in almost an instant, with the velocity of that arrow, you hear up. I'm going to have you
Solid.
go ahead and roll damage for me.
Solid. It's not what I was trying to do, but okay. To hit, I'm assuming first, or did it already hit?
It's just aiming straight down into a small pit,
All right.
body size
All
pit,
right. So just damage.
just damage.
Okay, so it's a D12. All right. Well, that wasn't great damage. It was a 1 plus, I believe it's 3. Let me take it up. Sorry, I don't know Thordain very well. 1 plus 3, yeah. So 4 damage.
You hear, and you hear what, and Thordain hears the sound of what seems like retching.
And Thordain turns to the party. He's just like, I think he's still alive.
Zil, how are you reacting to this?
To what? Aren't I
So
not
you're-
there?
No, you are there. You are currently witnessing this pit shenanigans. You hear the arrow impact on a guy, and you hear kind of the sound of retching.
Oh, shouldn't we have lit it on fire first?
Oh, it's a good,
Krothos
that's a really
says,
good idea.
"Give me that." And he goes, and he breaks out of his chains and he grabs the torch and just throws it down.
My torch!
And immediately you hear screams, and like almost with like this emotionless face, like he stares down. And as this actually torch falls further and further down, it eventually lands onto what seems to be a screaming individual. This guy, his hair's caught on fire. You smell burning flesh. However, around the sides of him, you just see dismembered body parts. And it's like you can tell, like there are the deeper down that it goes, the more decay has begun to set in. These bodies, you have no idea how many they are, but they seem piled up high. Seems like a lot of people have been subject to whatever is going on here.
Well, I can't say I'm upset about this. I think he deserves a flaming head.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't have thought better myself. And he begins to turn around and just begins walking by himself up this direction.
Does it look like there's anything else down there?
Nope.
Or is it just bodies?
Corpses.
All right. Yuki actually has the key ring, and she's actually like fondling it in her hands and stuff. And unless Luxalia wants to say anything first, Yuki's gonna go into it. Oh, okay. Yuki caresses the boy's hair and just says, "Okay, well, I'm gonna get you out of here, I promise." And she brings up the key rings to the boy. Obviously, you've been down here quite a bit. Do you know what these keys go to?
They're to the locks of the door. He points at like one of the ones. To the locks of the door. It's the master key in these cells. And also, those are to the locks of all of the prisoners. And it's a much smaller key, but it seems like it's the same key that fits every manacle set.
All right. Do we see Krothos coming up the rear?
Oh yeah, he's walking not confidently, but again, kind of like shoulders like down, followed by Zil and Thoreen.
I hand the boy over to Luxalia, and I go over to Krothos, and I start undoing his manacles again in a way that like they're loose, that he could just break them off if he needs to, but still prison-like, you know. So maybe they're like so loose that like he could just slip his hands back through it, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know how the manacles are, but
so basically they're like cuffs. So they're like a cuff that like has like two grips.
Yeah.
That essentially in one end it just like locks. So like if you unlock it, it completely hangs loose. Unless you're like having them like dangle like this, like on his wrists, like kind of like that. He can do that. He could potentially try to do that.
All right, I'm gonna ask
you're
him
not
to do that.
You're not going to be able to do that with his legs though.
Okay. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll completely unlock his legs, take those off, and then I'll tell him to like, hey, try to be careful with these. We'll try our best to surround you so no one sees your legs.
Right. And and this whole time he keeps eyeing the warhammer on Zil's back.
You'll get your time in the sun, buddy. I promise.
Did we want to check that other room if there were doors, or was it just all wall?
Yeah, was it literally? Have we explored everything? I was under the assumption that there was like a separate door with the captain down here or something.
Yeah, that guy was the captain.
Oh, is there an idol or anything that we're looking for?
Not that you saw.
I'm gonna go back into the room and look around.
Right. I'm gonna have everybody who wants to go back into that room make wisdom skill checks. There are gonna have a couple people to stay out here with Salic, and also Krothos.
Yeah, I'll stay by the stairs.
I'll stay up.
I'll go with Yuki.
All right.
Also, I'm just gonna ask Salic. Hey, Salic, we're trying to get to Luth. Do you know potentially where that passage might be?
Well, there are places that even in my time here I haven't been able to explore. As we mentioned earlier, there's a secret tunnel. And there's a door. There's a large door. But we, Duluth, have never been on the other side of it. But from what it sounds like, it seems to be connected in some of the innermost workings here of the keep. I think searching around the outside perimeters probably won't help us all that much.
All right.
Because
Thank you.
that cave, it goes deep underneath. It's not just an outside entrance. It goes deep underneath, and there's a long winding tunnel, a long winding cave, and eventually it does come to a door, a big steel door. But we've never been able to open it from the other side. Even that key that Duluth has, he's tried it. It hasn't worked.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. Well, I'll keep praying for you, and we'll make it through this. Believe that there is some good in this world worth fighting for.
He says nothing. Okay, so my wisdom check skill people.
I got 12.
14.
14. Belvin, what were you doing?
I'm just staying by the door.
Okay.
Or the stairs, sorry.
You both continue to look. It's pretty gross what you're seeing in here. Somehow, I don't know how it's happened, but this guy's been able to live here. You can tell that this guy spends his days here. There's some kind of supernatural energy that's keeping him from just constantly being sick. You don't find any doors except for a completely brick wall, and you don't find any idols.
Can I just come knocking on the brick wall?
It might have been thrown into the pit with him. I hate to say. That probably wasn't a smart move for us to chuck him down into the pit.
At this point, the screams have died down from the pit, and the flames also have.
Does anyone want to go down into the pit? How about you, Zil? Do you feel like going down there?
It's all bodies.
One more time, Kyle. How many flying or how many flies per day do I have?
Actually, that's one thing that you can check. Yuki can only fly in battle. The ways that works now is there is no flying, traversing, just randomly anymore. However, the way that flying is every round of combat that you do spend flying, at the bottom of your turn, you basically roll a d8 on a 1 through 4. You're forced to land in the current spot that you're flying over.
Okay.
And on a 5 through 8, you still keep flight, and then if you do a 1 through 4, you also can't attempt to fly the next round. So you can fly as much as you want during combat now, but you're forced to land at certain points.
Gotcha.
Essentially, what that's supposed to represent is your wings are too big for you as far as the strength goes. That's just the plight of all female draken. Their wings are too big, so they're not meant for extended periods of flight.
Gotcha. I'm actually going to take out the rope and say to Zil, hey, do you want to get another one of maybe get Krothos over here? I'm going to actually go down into the pit. And she's going to
literally all decaying bodies. Are you sure?
If he has the idol on him, we have to get it. And so I tie it around my waist and have the other guys.
Something sticking out that we can tie the rope to? Anywhere? A rock?
Really. There's no even sconces or anything on the walls or anything that you could attempt to tie.
Just hold on tight, Spider Monkey, and
tie it around my waist.
Okay. You begin your descent. Zil, I'm gonna have you make a physical skill check for me.
Oh, freaking Krothos! Someone grab Krothos. That's what I said. I didn't want to.
It's okay, not nat 16.
Oh my gosh.
You're able to stand firm. Actually, Zil, so it's around your waist, and you're able to have one leg up, kind of supporting on the lip of the pit. As you begin, slowly you begin to descend down, Yuki, and you notice that with each step, the walls begin to get more and more grimy, slimy, and it smells worse than you've ever smelled in your life.
I'm actually gonna call up the hole and I'm gonna say, "Hey, can people come in here and help us just in case I have to get up here quickly?" I just yell it up. This place is disgusting.
I'm gonna have you make a resilience skill check for me. This is going to be a fates check, an encounter fates check.
All right. Resilience? I don't think my resilience is very good. I think it's a 1. Sorry. I have multiple character sheets pulled up. Resilience. Where's my resilience? There it is. Oh, it's a 2. It's a 2. It's not bad. That would be an 11.
At -2 because you have struggle.
Yep.
Okay.
It's 11. Yep.
You make your way finally down at the bottom, and you are on the bodies of what look to be a crisped up individual, but a bunch of just like body parts. It's not like full bodies. Flesh is beginning to decay. It smells awful. You're going to gain 1 point of misery as you loaded upon these bodies. This is disgusting. Like, this is spirit dampening. How awful this is. I'm going to have you make a agility survival check for me.
Survival agility. Okay, that would be 12.
12. You feel something along your leg. How are you reacting? It's like around your ankle.
I'm gonna rip it up and look at what it was.
You grab a hand, a crispy hand, that's started grabbing your leg.
Okay, I take out one of my broadsword and I stab down at him, right in his face.
That's disgusting.
He's not
Just
going to be.
out of-
he's not going to be making much fight.
Yeah. Well, just out of like almost like surprise, like oh crap.
Yeah, he's not fighting back, and after a few stabs, he's quiet.
All right, I look around and try to, as quickly as possible, trying not to look around. Not trying not to look around me, but like on his body, seeing if I can see any like idols.
Most of the cloth has been completely burnt away. There's a few strips of leather, and his flesh is just disintegrated.
Is there any idols?
There doesn't seem to be anything other than a couple spare weapons and daggers on him that are of any interest. There is no statue.
Okay. Is there anything like that I can grab that's like a demarcation or like that I can see is like a badge of, I don't know, like that could help us?
Everything is burnt. Anything that's metal again is what's left, and it's like just
Is there like any like a name tag or something that I can like grab?
No,
like
definitely not.
Okay, all right. So I pull up, I yank on the rope and ask to be pulled up.
Zill, make a physical skill check for me, and
No one came over. I screamed. No one did.
And what?
No, just do that. Make your
Nat 16.
Well, there you go. All right.
Zill just pulls you up. Luxalia, make a fortitude survival check for me. Not Luxalia. Oh, sorry, Yuki.
Yep.
Sorry.
14 plus 5. 19.
You begin to feel like a heave coming up, but you dry heave and nothing does come out. Fortunately, you are not poisoned, and fortunately, you did not receive any damage from being down there.
All right. I will start gasping as soon as I come to the.
Yeah, it's real stinky up here. It's real stinky up here, but nothing compared to the bowels of the pit.
Oh God. I feel like I just went to hell and back. Yeah. And
I told you, it was bodies.
There wasn't an idol, but we had to check. At the very least, we had to check. And I grasped my soul, and a flash of just nightmarish, gruesome bodies is just going to be with me for a little while. Disgusting. Body parts, I should say.
Actually, one of the things, too, that I think maybe affected you more than anything is like the still somewhat life-filled body of a completely crisped individual reaching out to you. I mean, the cursing is a different thing, but yeah, that's a sight that no one needs to see.
Yeah, that had to be done.
Okay, what are you guys planning on doing?
Walking back, seeing if there's any other doors or secrecies that I'm looking for on the way back.
One more wisdom skill check for everybody. Salek's not in a position to be looking.
Thordane's freaking sick. Thordane got a nat 16 plus 3. Yuki got a 7.
Okay.
Non-nat 16.
Okay.
3.
Freaking Zill, dear lord.
Been rolling
10.
bad all day, now it's paying off.
Thordane, he's been looking around actually, and in the corner, kind of over in this general vicinity, He found there was a stool that was sitting there where one of the what's it called, guards, one of the bandit guards was sitting. There is actually what looked to be a crumpled up piece of paper that was on the ground in front of there.
Thornton's gonna read it, of course.
He opens it up, he uncrumples it, and it says shift rotation, sewer cleaning duty. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, at the sewer cleaning. All right, we'll have to
Dang.
go on sewer cleaning duty, I guess. All right.
So
Nice.
well done,
So
everybody.
cool.
Well done.
Woo!
No combats. I'm actually very surprised. I set up a lot of potential combats, especially after last week. So
Yep.
that was really good. Actually, that was a lot of fun to play on my end. Just seeing you guys and how you're reacting to certain situations. It's really fun for me to be able to do that as well.
We gotta Sparta somebody.
Yeah, kind of. You have 2 allies with you, so that's good. No NPCs have died yet,
Wow.
which is
One
good.
of them might try to make a run for it, I will say. But you know what? Maybe we should do the golem rope around his neck, and then it'll be fine. Just
No.
like we did.
It's only
No.
gonna traumatize him more.
No, I know. I'm just joking. All right. Well, yeah, it was super fun. Does anyone have any comments, last minute things before we get into the news and then things ahead, or no? Anyone?
Always fun.
No.
Always fun.
Good stuff. By the way, Connor, I heard your kid, adorable.
Yeah, she's
Calling
yeah.
Daddy. Daddy. I loved it. So cute.
I was wondering, is she gonna come in and fill in for Belbin or
Yeah,
Thornton?
right.
Maybe in a few years.
Nice. And I also saw Nala. She was
Yep.
cute. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, I guess I'll just get right into it. Again, everyone who stopped by the stream today, who's still here, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. It's been a really fun ride and journey. Again, session 7. I can't believe it's already been 7 sessions since we started streaming this, but we're having at least I'm having a great time. I can't speak for the rest of everyone else, but it's definitely incredibly fun. But just a couple announcements. So actually on Wednesday we're going to be filming the Everlast podcast covering sessions 6 and 7. So this video will be uploaded to YouTube either tomorrow or Monday, Japan Standard Time. And so Sunday, I guess, if you're living in America. And so if you have any questions or comments about anything about the game, any questions that you want answered, feel free to comment those in the comment section of the videos, the respective videos, and we'll be sure to answer those questions during the podcast. And again, the podcast will go up next Saturday. Any other last minute scheduling things, Kyle, for the month ahead?
For the month ahead, August is going to look a little bit different. So actually, August 12th, which is actually Dane's and my birthday, we are still planning on having our session. And so we do plan on doing that. I guess August 12th is a Friday, so it's the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
So 13th. Birthday weekend, so that's fun. But we still are planning on having a session. However, the following week on the 20th, we're not. Dane is actually coming down to visit me in Tokyo, and so we're going to be spending some of the time going around touring, seeing the city. Before, because Dane's way out in the countryside, for those of you who don't know, and my wife and I here in Tokyo want to be able to have him and enjoy during his summer vacation time. So we will not be streaming on the 20th. However, we are going to decide. I'm going to talk to some of these guys. I believe that there are 5 Saturdays in this month. I was wondering if you guys would be open to maybe doing the next stream on July 30th. If not, I get it. Maybe if that's the case, maybe we just have one Everlast stream next month, but we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it, but I guess hesitantly, the 30th, hesitantly.
Yes.
If not, then it'll be the 13th will be the next session. And yes, I see Kami. Yes, Forge takes over Tokyo. That's what I like to hear. No, it'll be fun. Actually, we have some really fun things planned, and I will be posting lots on the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, it's a wonderful place to join. Feel free to do so. Again, absolutely wonderful. So if you have Discord, wonderful community. So feel free to join. Sorry, can someone type it? Can a mod in the chat or something type in the Discord link? What else? We have a couple things. Yay, thank you, Kami. I appreciate it. You feel free to join the Discord if you want to. And the week ahead is looking good. So actually Monday and Tuesday and Thursday we're gonna be doing some Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which is gonna be really fun. We actually do have 2 new personalities coming to Fantasy Forge Studios in the coming month, and I guess we can announce them right now. So actually, Max and Cole will be new personalities at Fantasy Forge Studios. Again, they both live in America, so they're going to be streaming during normal American time hours. So again, just more content for you guys. Again, it will be here on the Fantasy Forge Twitch channel. So again, so added
come
stuff
hang out
again.
with us.
Yeah, we're in the studio, so that's how it is. We're having
We're
multiple
still finalizing scheduling, so we're not exactly sure what day that's going to be, but it's in the next couple weeks.
Yep. So
we're very nerdy, so come talk to us about Star Wars, Harry Potter, D&D, Lord of the Rings. Roast us all you want, Cammy.
He's good at math. I used to be.
We're just gonna have some fun, play some video games, and be ridiculous, as we're good at.
Hey,
the ridiculous part. We'll see about.
I'm really looking forward to having them on board. I've always feel so bad, just again, because I normally stream Japan Standard Time, which is literally the middle of the night for my American friends, and so I feel really bad those loyal ones who stay up. I don't know how you do it, but you do. So this should be extra content for you guys to be able to enjoy during normal waking hours. So feel free to go and say hello to them during the week. Again, we'll pin down the schedule when we get there, but look forward to them in the future, which is going to be really fun. Yeah. And as always, guys, with all of our streams, especially the Everlast streams, we do upload to YouTube. We do upload to anything. We really, really appreciate you guys for joining and hanging out with us. And one of the best things that you can do is, if you haven't followed the channel, consider giving it a follow so you don't miss out on any of the Everlast news. Again, this is the only place you're going to be able to see Everlast Adventures. The game's not out, and it won't be out until probably a couple years. So obviously, following, giving us I guess just being here and hanging out with us. But another thing is, if you can share our content, again, we upload it to YouTube. If you have a Discord channel that you think people are nerdy and like tabletop RPGs, or you just want to show our content to your friends and stuff, again, we want to expand the community as much as possible, get word of mouth of this game out as much as possible. And that is really, really appreciated. Again, actually, it makes a big difference sharing YouTube videos. It works for the algorithm. Also, commenting works a lot. So, hey, you're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone by asking a question for the podcast, and also it helps the stream out quite a bit. So, yeah. So, that's definitely something you can do. If you are in the position to give financially, there's a couple ways that you can do that. Again, as I mentioned during our little break there, we do have a merch store, and actually not just Fantasy Forge merch, but all of our Everlast merch too, is going towards the production of this game. Again, we are producing it ourselves here at Fantasy Forge Studios, so not only we're not going through a big publisher like Wizards of the Coast or anything. We're doing it all from scratch to keep the integrity of the game intact. Yeah, if you guys want to get some sweet merch, support your favorite characters, I did put up some new designs in the merch store. And for the month of July, everything is up to 20% off, and it's already included in the price. In August, prices are going to be going back up to what they were. So this is your time to get it. If you want to get some merch, you want to support your favorite characters, and if you just want to support Everlast as a game, you can do that. And then we have a Patreon, and I'll let Kyle talk a little bit about that.
So we do have a Patreon, as mentioned earlier. It's linked on the channel and on our website and all that kind of stuff. But essentially what it is currently there are 2 levels. If you want to be able to intercede on the party through fate, you can provide hope to certain party members. So at the $5 level, you can provide 1 fate a month. We have 2 streams, so once the month is over and you don't use it, that's a thing. However, if you subscribe at the $10 level, you get 2 hopes per month, so you can be like, hey, I want to provide hope to this person. which is really great. And additionally, you get access to the previous content of the Adventures of Eclaas Eeas before the official streamed event. Again, most of the episodes are there, and they're super long sessions, anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours to 6 hours. It's crazy, like how much that there is. But yeah, you can see the Adventures of Eclaas Eeas before they journeyed in the Ocean Archipelago. So that's really good. A lot of bonus extra content for you guys to be able to have.
And those are all linked in the About section below. If you're watching on YouTube, they are linked in the description of the video. So feel free to follow the links there. Again, even if you don't necessarily want to, or you're not able to donate and give, it's always cool to go and look, especially at the merch store. We do have a website. We are a studio, so Fantasy Forge Studios is a full studio with a full website and everything. So that is also linked there. And so if you want to learn more about Everlast and the process behind the making it, we do have an entire Everlast page based off of that, so you can feel free to read the inspiration behind the creation of Everlast, again, on the website that is linked below. And we're going to be adding more to it. Hopefully we can update some schedules and stuff as we pin those down. But for now, that's what we're working with. So I guess for now, look forward to next Saturday for the Everlast podcast. Don't forget to comment on the video any questions or concerns or questions you may have about just the sessions, or us personally. We're more than happy to answer questions about us as well. So feel free to do that. And I think that's it. That's it. Any last things for everyone?
Good job, everyone.
Yes.
Lots of fun.
I don't think so.
Well done.
Yeah. All right.
Go team.
Have a
Bye,
good
guys.
one.
See you
Bye,
guys.
everybody. May Allah be a guide to you.
Pasta.